course, that's broken too.
Are we good?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Feel free.
The neon sign flickers, a vivid pink, its warm pulsing light gyrating with the heavy bass beat inside. Its fluorescent tubing of molten dye shaped to a single word, and that word stacked upon itself 3 times to read, girls, girls, girls. Outside of the cold steel storefront dance 2 virtual girls, overlay projections of ecstatic color as their naked forms glide sensually, enticing the passerby to linger or to enter. Tonight, however, is very late and the street is nearly empty. Down the boulevard, the tall tower of Der Prince rises in splendor, its royal purple lighting streaking up the side in brilliant color, washing the surrounding neighborhood in its hue. The high-end hotel is lavish compared to the surrounding structures, and otherworldly when compared to the strip club we find ourselves at. The naked hologram leans over provocatively to blow a kiss at a drunkard staggering by. His eyes grow wide as if he has seen a goddess, and he staggers towards the overlay nymph in a drunken stupor of lust, but he stops. The thumbing bass inside has calmed, and we can now hear the sound of a chainsaw. Inside, followed by a roaring scream of pain. The drunkard stumbles back at the sound. The overlay vixens, unfazed, continue their tempting provocation, but the drunkard yelps, and he scurries off down an alleyway, nervous glances over his shoulder, back towards the girls, girls, girls strip club. Inside, the girls dance. Their nude forms a far cry from the perfect bodies displayed outside. They are mutants, cyber-junked whores, each broken in their own unique way, hooked on one drug or another. The air reeks with a blend of cigarettes and alcohol and bodily secretion. All of the girls have paused now to stare at the backroom door. What few patrons have lingered are either passed out at the bars and on couches or quickly moving for the exit. The saw starts again. Again roaring loud as its teeth clearly sink into flesh. One of the patrons keels over, vomiting from the sound. His hacks are covered again by the screams in the back. Now we see a rapidly expanding puddle of blood pooling out over a clear tarp that is laid upon a dirty shag carpet. Sprays of blood stripe the wall and the couch cushions nearby in a haphazard patterns of gore. On the floor, Kairos lies unconscious, his body contorted from pain spasms, his fingers twitching, shirt drenched through with sweat. Hunched over him, a burly figure, a blood-stained apron tied around his waist, a face shield pulled down, concealing his face. Gripped in his hand, a crude sort of surgeon's chainsaw dripping with blood. Ever so slightly, Kairos' left leg totters to the side, loosened from the rest of his body. The gutterwork surgeon drops the heavy amputation saw to the ground with a thud, and pulls out a toolkit repurposed into a crude surgeon's kit. He begins his work on the bloody stump that remains. The sly and slender Usi lies not far away, curled amongst her tail in a conjoining room, her own small pool of blood now soaked into the carpet and drying. She hears the screams, but only through the drunken stupor of heavy trank doses. Her world is a blur of momentary images, followed by darkness. Pain, the sound of her own distant screams and whimpers, as a figure in military fatigue worked diligently with a bio-welder, refastening her severed and exposed ribs and applying heavy doses of hypo to her punctured lung. His face is focused and lined with exhaustion as he slowly stabilizes her, a process that runs deep into the hours of the night. Outside, Cash, in a disheveled suit, sits against the hood of a red car. He slowly drags on a cigarette with a long inhale, weary from the brutal combat hours before. And with a long release, of smoke, he watches it drift toward the pre-dawn sky and the brooding clouds moving in from the west. Distant lightning flickers somewhere in the depth of them, but is too far away to hear the thunder. Though rain was on the way, he was glad the screaming inside had finally stopped. It had grated at his nerves, and he could finally let his guard drop. Allison Rafferty leans next to him, a cigarette in her own hand. Her tight chauffeur's dress neat and orderly as always, but her hair let down from its usual pinned-up position, now cascading in long twirls of dark brown. He's struck by her beauty, and in this moment there hangs a vulnerability, something he has never been very comfortable with. He lowers his cigarette and glances over at her. You know, I really am sorry. Without a glance back at him, she ever so slightly nods. Yeah, I know. Don't fuck up again, okay? She responds. But it is not harsh, and he can tell there is a softness to the well-controlled veneer of her face that she appreciated the apology. He smiles tiredly. I won't. I promise. I need you, you know? Ain't a better driver than you. He then takes another long drag of the cigarette. That's right, she replies, with a slight smile on her lips. The two sit in silence, staring at the sky, dark clouds billowing towards them. Her head slowly leans until it rests upon his shoulder. Inside, Amon Vecht closes the door to the private dance room, the couch cushions worn stained leather. A gleaming metal pole and neon glowing table at its base for dancing on. He sits on the cushions, alone, and grasps the small drone belonging to Kodra, an item recovered from the belongings of the House of Fathoms team they are searching for. This drone, he can sense, contains a great deal of sentimentality for Kodra, and that emotional attachment may be enough to gleam her location. With help. He closes his eyes and shifts the pattern of his breath. Time passes in the darkness of his mind, in feeling the edges of Kodra's emotional energy clinging to the object. He gathers the shape of the psychic bond, and he opens his mind to the whispering voice now becoming more audible. A rush of light, and an energy as another consciousness merges with his own. He knows this consciousness, for he has conjoined with it before. The elder oracle sage Ama from somewhere deep in the Northern Union forests where she is meditating, now merges with the mind of Amon Vecht, and they are as one in the shadow space of psionic dreaming. He can feel her powerful gift of prescience come to life, locking on to the shape he has formed from Kodra's emotional sentimentality. Like a bloodhound, they move, shifting into all the moments shared between this object and Kodra, and the events that created these attachments. Amon is touching a metal alloy from what will soon be the drone. His hand is not his own, but he knows it to be Kodra's. Delicate fingers with fingernails painted pink and smudged with grease. A strange juxtaposition of femininity and masculinity. She strokes her fingers across the smooth alloy surface. He can feel the cool surface through her fingertips and can sense her imagination begin to play, to dream of what could be. What do you think? Comes the gentle voice of the store clerk, a young Korean woman with short hair and face slightly dirty with grease. I like it, responds Kodra's voice. It has the right shape, the right potential, you know? She glances up at the clerk. The clerk's face is beautiful, and Amon can sense Kodra's cheek flush, taking in the clerk's appearance. She looks back down at the frame, avoiding the steady and kind eyes of the clerk. Yeah, I think you'll make it into something special, responds the clerk encouragingly. They exchange money, and Kodra meanders to the door. Amon can hear the clerk call, somewhat hesitantly, to Kodra. You know, I have a shipment of new parts coming in this evening. You want to stop by later and look through it before it hits the shelves. Might find something else special for the drone. Kodra looks back, a shy smile on her face. Yeah? You don't mind? She is met by a similar smile on the clerk's face, but a confidence in the eyes that Kodra admires and herself lacks. Not at all. I would enjoy it if you did. Kodra pauses, then begins again. I'm Kodra, by the way. The clerk smiles more broadly. Bora, a pleasure to meet you, Kodra. The drone frame wrapped under her arm, a heat and excitement bubbling up inside of her. She says, later tonight then, as she waves goodbye to Bora before heading out the door. The memory fades and reemerges. Amon can see them sitting on the concrete floor of the back room, pretending to sift through drone parts. Kodra setting a few aside, but all of it is a ruse for the conversation taking place. They talk about family, about hobbies and passions, about drones and machining, all while laughing and smiling. He can feel the affection build in her chest, can sense the chemistry and the connection forming between them, all while the various components of the drone are jostled about in prolonged searching. Just another 30 minutes, another 30 minutes, and another, until it's late into the night. The memory shifts, and the shape of Kodra's bond begins to take form, the sense of her psychic connection revealed through the drone, but captured in full by her love for Bora. He can feel her nervousness as she squeezes the hand of Bora, their fingers weave together as she slips her mind into the newly created drone, her awareness becoming that of the drone's sensory mechanisms as she begins its first flight. Then she lifts off. Unbound by the limits of her human shell, she flies. Into the air on a smooth propulsion engine gliding up above her body that now leans unconsciously against Bora, who holds her. There, hovering in the drone, she zooms in to see that Bora is not looking at the drone, but is fixated on Kodra's sleeping face. She gently brushes the lock of Kodra's hair back behind her ear with loving affection. The drone slowly descends, and Kodra returns to her body, to her awareness. She opens her eyes to see the eyes of Bora just above her. And in that moment, Kodra is filled with want, and she pushes her head up and kisses Bora. And they remain there for a long moment as the memory fades into light. Iman can hear Kodra's heartbeat. Not the memory of it, but her actual heartbeat. It is burdened and it is weak, but he can't yet connect fully and he cannot perceive her surroundings. It fades and he wants to call after it, but the gentle prompt of Sage's guiding presence directs him to another memory. The drone hovers above her bed where Kodra and Bora lie, their naked forms wrapped in an embrace tangled up in blankets as the sunrise breaks through the window blinds. From here, Aman can sense Kodra slip into the drone, look down upon herself with Bora to savor the moment from a different vantage point. He can sense Kodra's shyness in this moment, and so many like it, that at times, lost in the eyes of machines, she feels safe and protected. When she is in her own skin, she is always feeling vulnerable and exposed, but inside the iron parameters of her drones, she feels safe and at home. From here, she watches as they both sleep, the gentle rise of slow sleeping breaths in the breasts of Bora, the way her own hair messily covers her face, the perfection of how their two bodies fit so perfectly together. It is beautiful, and you can feel the deep emotion of fulfillment and happiness. A dozen more memories float by, each reinforcing the connection. Bora is upset at Kodra for taking on such a dangerous mission for the House of Fathoms, and the two fight in the kitchen where the drone sits upon the table ready to be packed. Another memory. In the days of pain another memory of searing pain as Kodra's left hand is nothing but a bloody stump, a mission gone wrong, and in the days of pain and agony, she slips into the drone to escape it all. There she stares down at her shivering body as her allies grab her and carry her off. Another memory, a mechanical hand that Bora is adjusting for her, the two laughing over insignificant jokes, the fingers whirring as it gets more calibrated. And then a final memory, a recent one. Kodra packs up her drone and Bora stands nearby. Be careful, okay? I know you and the team will be fine, but Berlin is a long way off. You'll be safe? She asks. Kodra places her hand around the neck of Bora. Yeah, I'll be safe. I'll be back before you even miss me, she says with a smile and a final farewell kiss. The memory ends. And Iman knows now the psychic scent of Kodra and where it is leading him to. He sees the rain coming down upon the choppy waves of the Spree, the long docks filled with abandoned freight liners now decorated with shanty homes. There, mingled in this forgotten place, is a barge, a freight liner, and written upon its side the faded lettering of its name, the Dauntless. In the belly of this beast, he can sense her life force, her heartbeat, her psychic signature. He senses strongly now the weary and weak heartbeat of Kodra demanding immediate action. For he knows she does not have long. He takes in the vivid image, the surrounding, and any clue to the location in Berlin, then quickly signals to Sage's presence that the task is done and he must move swiftly. Soon he is alone in the psionic space, slowly fading and soon to be gone. Then the push. The sudden psychic force pressed against his own consciousness, like something trying to get in. Reactively, he pushes back and is met with tension between his own psychic powers and another intrusive one. Narrowly, he fends off the advance, probing for access into his mind, and he wakes with an uneasy knot in the pit of his stomach and a sure direction where the missing Fathoms team resides. Welcome everybody to House of Eidolons, the Mission 4 conclusion for House of Odin. We're so thankful for you guys to all come and join us today. Let's introduce everybody. I am Paul Angelo Andrighetti. I am your GM and co-author of House of Eidolons. To my, let's see here, to my right, I don't know, on the screen, but where the other people are sitting is Josh, the other co-author. To my right, Josh, you want to give yourself an introduction?
Howdy, folks. I am Gunvold, Josh, Kairos. You pick one. You'll find me online under those monikers. I am the other half of this two-part party, as it were. So, and just below me, I know Usi's not going to be here today. She had an event, something going on. That's okay. But then below Usi, we have Amon, Vec, and Connor. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Connor. I'll be playing Amon Vec, who's my character. I've been around for a while. You won't find me anywhere online. Don't try. I'm not anywhere cool. But yeah, you'll. I had like a cool intro, so I'm feeling cool about that. About that. Anyway, that's me. Hi, you'll hear lots from me soon.
He also loves you.
Yeah, I do. You can have a profile with me in this game. That's how I sign off. And you're going to ask my little signature, right? I got a lot of actual signatures. But we'll figure it out. It'll be fun. We'll have a great time. Next up.
Brandon.
I'm Brandon. I play Cassius. You can find me as Spooky Jones on any platform, anywhere.
Perfect. Thank you. And we will dive into a quick recap. So, last mission. Well, let's just start from the beginning of the mission. Beginning of the mission, there's a House of Odin team. They are known as the Lunar 5. They have survived some pretty incredible stuff to gain that name. And this is their fourth mission into the field, and they are hunting down a missing House of Fathoms team. That has taken them to Berlin, where this team went dark. During their time, they used a lot of different things. We had people using their feral scent, Usi using her feral scent to track down people. We had Josh diving into submersion space, the Omni-Network, to run the neon grid and find video footage. We had Amon Vec psychically delving people's memories and cache transforming his entire appearance through various cybernetics to con his way into the hotel and find a location to where the House of Fathoms team was being held. And so last mission, they arrive at that location. They take out some thugs thinking that they are about to save the team, only to discover that it is not, in fact, the team. It is a decoy set up. And right as they discover this, a Ronin mercenary team of Eidolons show up, and all hell breaks loose. It was a tough fight. The team narrowly escapes. Kairos, unfortunately, as we saw in the intro, left very scathed, having to have his entire left leg amputated.
Look,
so
just
he is
because the
out.
VTT screen is a little bloody right now, don't judge my decisions.
So he is out of it, in stupid, feverish dreams, tranked out of his gourd. Usi, likewise, from this same individual, a mercenary known as Valiant, a Ronin known as Valiant, who had a power spear, both destroyed Kairos's leg and impaled Usi, who narrowly escaped with a very, very grievous mortal wound. She is being, or has been tended to by Private Douglas, a paramilitary brought through a contact of Cash's. They arrive back at Girls with no good leads, and this is when Amon Vecht hears back from his contact, a Conclave agent who connects him to meld with these belongings they have found of the team. Amon Vecht, with the help of Sage, can delve into them, as we heard in the beginning story, and thus they now have a location that Amon feels sure is where the team is. But there's only 2 of them left standing and operational. So can Cash and Amon Vecht get there in time to save the team before it's too late? And can they overcome what barriers might exist between Girls where they're at and the docks where they're headed? Anything to add, fellas? Anything I missed?
Doubt it. No.
I don't think
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Then,
Very good.
before we jump into the action and we get going, of course, a word from the sponsor for tonight's episode. And you will not believe this, but tonight's sponsor is none other than Girls.
Yeah.
A good old-fashioned strip club the way God intended. No frills, no guardrails, just girls. The name says it all. And that's it. That's the whole ad. So, they know what they're selling.
It runs very counter to the introduction and the description of Girls.
They're liars.
Yeah, no.
I think they're lying.
Marketing material. They shouldn't have advertised on this show. I don't know.
Look,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
look,
they're
if any other
there.
sponsors want to contact me, feel free. We'll just let me know. I got
Yep.
you.
Right now, we got Girls, but if there are other sponsors out there just waiting to sponsor their product, we would
Yep.
love to sponsor real products.
Just go to
Anyways,
eidolonsrpg.com, hit the contact button. It'll hit me and Paul.
I love it.
All right, and so we will jump into it, and so we'll pick up right where the beginning ended. So actually, we're gonna actually take a pause and go back in time just a little bit. Amon Vecht, so it's been all night long that surgery's been going on.
Yep.
Break of dawn, Amon Vecht is not going to emerge from his little room for most of the 3rd day. He's in there delving. It is a long process. Cash, during that day while Kairos and Usi are unconscious and resting and Amon Vecht is meditating, is there anything that you want to do during that time? You have some time. I'm sure a lot of it you probably spend sleeping,
Yes.
but in between you're fitful sleeping.
Yes, there are a couple of things. I'm gonna do.
Okay.
First off, feeling like I'm out on most everything and realizing the situation we're in, I'm gonna try to get into once the surgery, the initial chop is done. I'm gonna go in. The doc, maybe catch him before he leaves. Hey doc, how's our boy doing over there?
Yeah, probably about as good as can be expected.
All right,
To make it. The new leg is on. It won't really know how his nervous system responds to it for a while, but plenty of drugs next to him. Just keep on pumping him. Should help with the integration process.
All right, I'm gonna need I need a little bit of drugs myself. So I'm gonna take a quick look what we got over here. And
It's
I'm gonna look for some stim. Uh,
over
see
by
Kairos.
Kairos.
Yeah, to see. I'm trying to find a tactful way to say I'm gonna rob my friend of anything he might have had on him. He's not gonna use it, Doc. You know what I mean? Like if he had anything, I'm just like rooting through his pockets.
Kairos, do you have any stem on you? In your pocket,
Yes, I
suppose.
do.
Seeing as that you're very unconscious, yeah, Cash, if you want them, you can go ahead and take it.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Doc, I'm not gonna mess with the recovery drugs. You know, that could put him in real danger. How many stim are on your body there, Kairos?
Just one.
I'm gonna take that.
Yep.
And then, so I did want to clarify with stim and getting edge dice, it looks like, do those go away?
Nope, the edge dice are permanent.
Okay.
The effects of stim, so stim has a couple other effects that will kick in. Those go away at the end of the J duration. And then, of course, the negative effects last for the duration of the H duration. Josh, what is the potency of your stim? P1, P2? Sorry, you're muted.
P1.
P1, okay.
Perfect.
The doc looks at you. Well, if you need other drugs, he pulls out another dose of stim. He's like, your payment probably covers this as well. And he rolls it over to you. This is a P2 stim.
Yeah, fantastic. That's exactly what I need. All right.
Anything else before I get going? I took a look over at what the paramilitary man did to your snake lady, and looks well enough.
All right, good.
She'll make it.
I think you more than earned this entire facility. So, congratulations.
Thank you, I think. I'll probably turn the back room into a surgery room. It works
That's a good
nicely.
call.
I have more tarp. And he starts heading for the door.
No problem there. Got the 2 stim on deck. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm not immediately going to take them. Although I am going to look at what the effects are. I may want to take them so I'm not like going places with the negative effects. Either way.
Sure.
I am going to actually reach out the same text thread to...
Before you take that stim, there is what's known as a cognitive rest. I actually need to slightly rewrite these rules because at the time of rewriting cognitive rest, it was a different... Anyways, so whenever there's a substantial pause, usually some hours involved, so you can't actually, like, even if a day passes while on a mission, you can't regain all of your edge dice, but you can take a single cognitive rest and you would make a cognition roll and divide it by 5 and regain that many edge dice. So before you take the stim, you can, because you're sleeping throughout the day on this day, presumably, you could cognitively rest and gain back some edge dice.
Yeah, that changes a lot of... Yeah. Yes. I would love to wake from my cognitive rest.
All right, then go ahead and make a cognition roll.
I don't know why I thought I only could do that under different circumstances. I'll worry
I
about
think
that later.
I think I kind of designed it originally. It was kind of like a short rest sort of mentality.
Yeah. This is a
but
short
I-
rest. Feels like
Yeah, and so because missions can take multiple days depending, I think I'll just kind of change it when there is a adequate amount of time to actually rest. You can take one single cognitive rest.
perfect. This seems like the best time for that.
Yeah, considering you're out of dice.
Okay. Say 22.
22. So you regain 4 edge dice.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we're at the conclusion, but, if this was earlier on in the mission, right, and you couldn't take any other cognitive rest, even if there was other multiple days
Right.
that take place. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So with that information, with the stim on hand now, I'm actually going to continue in the same text thread with Henry Sorensen, my Talos judicial contact. And I am going to give him the address of the warehouse that we fought. I'm going to let him know that there should be DNA at least, or bits and pieces of what we identified in some shape or form as the Ronin Eidolon flashbang.
Mhm.
And give them kind of like a brief shakedown on what happened and their ties to what I'm trying to do here. Like, we've got the head mouth guy, Smiles. I've heard all of their names now through their chatter and their comms. Valiant, Smiles, Flashbang. They are tied to something. Cash doesn't have like a guy. I don't have a great story. He's like putting it in text.
Yeah.
And just kind of give him the breakdown on all that.
So Cash sits down and starts typing away on his manual flip phone, which he uses instead of an EMS, messaging out to, what was his name again? Sorry.
Henry Sorensen.
Henry. Henry messages back. Just their DNA there? Question mark.
Nah. Definitely a little bit of a couple of my team members' DNA too. And I'll give them like locations of like injury stuff, like make sure you get the roof cleaned up. You'll see it's the whole thing.
He meshes back. Can't promise your team doesn't get tied up in this investigation. But thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right.
I think
Anything
that-
else, Cash?
I think that's about all Cash wants to do.
Okay.
He'll eat some food.
For sure. Always eating food. Okay. So now we are going to jump to the moment that the story has stopped. It is evening. Cash, you've kind of just woken up. You've been sleeping for a good 5-ish hours in the middle of the day. Girls. It's not so busy during the day. That's actually quiet time for girls. So it was good sleeping. And it is now probably pretty well into evening when you wake up. Some stragglers are coming in, and Amon Vecht emerges from his room.
All right, out I come. I'm kidding.
Wait a minute, you were sleeping that whole time?
Yeah. Oh, was I supposed to do so? Oh, crap. Oh, I missed a very important call. It'll be fine.
Hold on, guys. Let me add my part.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kairos. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll pop on over.
Look, it's got to be a comprehensive experience. They want to know about these characters.
Yeah, they do. What is Kairos doing right about now?
Everyone's wondering. Kairos.
stole a bunch of
Going for
drugs
you.
from Kairos.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
The
you
only
did.
drugs we had.
Really, it's fine. Really,
But
it's
see,
fine. You borrowed.
that's the minor
You
offense. It's the leg that I'm going to have a bigger problem with.
Frankly, yeah, he's still contributing to the mission by donating these supplies,
Yep.
Yeah.
which
I
is
like
great.
the way you think.
Which is a real team playing kind of move. Speaking of team playing kind of move, hey, Cash,
What do you know?
I know a lot. I know a lot about a lot of things. I think I know where they're being held. In fact, I know where they're being held. I also know I'm afraid of it. Because I felt a little bit of a psychic pushback at the end between you and I and everybody else listening on this conversation. That's not a great sign, okay? That's not a great sign. That means they probably have a psionic. I consider myself pretty good at what I do, okay? But so far, I really have mostly done what I do to people who can't comprehend my incredible psionic power. I fear someone who can might be a little bit of a more dangerous adversary for both you and I. I'm not trying to say that you're gonna probably, I'm just saying both of us will want to be careful. Especially since we're down 2 members. I don't know if you've done anything while I've been figuring out where everyone is. But we might need some help. I mean, we've got Dougie, right? But I'm a little worried that you and I go in. I'm easily perforated, all right? And you are remarkably snazzy. You look great. You paint, frankly, a really great figure, all right? I'm digging it.
That's
it's
the
cool.
politest way to tell somebody you don't have shit for armor.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I really feel like we are missing a couple of core components to what makes
I
our
kinda
combat machine work.
Thought you were gonna do all the heavy lifting. Like I saw you fold a man into his own psyche outside of that building back there last
You're
night.
right. And you know what? Good for you. I would like to utilize my laurels for just a moment here. I feel like I have been doing a lot of the work here.
Amazing.
I freaked out Smiles, all right? He was going to take a big bite of my head. And
Wonderful
I
job.
said, think twice, all right?
Yeah.
I've been blasting people. You know what? That's my deal. But I'm not good at receiving the blasting, okay? I'm a little worried about that. Here's the deal. Let's lay out what we know, all right? And again, this is information that I've been able to gather. Kodra, currently on a boat, all right? Name the Dauntless, all right? Can't believe that one wasn't registered already, but the Dauntless is
It's not like one Dauntless
it's
2.
actually
so-
the first time.
What are we at?
Yeah, it was no Dauntless 4 or something like that, which means it must be a Yarly vessel if it's lasted this long. She is on the Dauntless. I know that for a fact. We're looking at the docks, all right? That's where we got ahead. I am thinking we got to get there soon. I don't think she has long left, all right? And you know what? If I'm going to be honest with you, Cash, why don't you pull it on in here? Cash, pull it on in here. Cash.
Right on. Whisper.
I'm here. I'm always good for a secret conversation.
What's up?
I have gotten to know her love life. I am really invested in saving this woman. I want her to get home, okay? So we're going to do everything I can, all right, to make sure that she gets the happy ending that, frankly, I want, all right? Her cage right now, you know my deal about cages. Her cage right now is the ship the Dauntless, and I got to be the key that opens it, all right? Now, let's go figure out what we're gonna do. You got any contacts you think could maybe help? I'm again remarkably
First of
afraid.
all, you wouldn't believe how often this happens with you psionic types. You get into the mind of a person, and then now it's gotta, you're all tied up in their feelings and emotions. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm really feeling into Usi lately, and I don't think that's how I was feeling when I met her. I kind of feel like something else came in when you put that guy's memories in my head. We'll
I don't
talk
know.
about that maybe when this is all resolved.
I kind of think
I'm
that's
gonna need
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit of help.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, we'll see what we can do.
but on another note,
Yeah.
how much money do you have on you right now? How much crypt do you have right
I've
now?
got putting it on a scale between 1 and 4,775. I am at 4,775 crypt is
Yeah,
where
well,
I'm
let me put it
right
to you
now.
this way.
All right.
The more money you give me right now, the better
Mhm.
chances of our success on the
Mhm.
Dauntless go.
Okay.
Okay?
I
Because I
do.
do have contacts,
You do.
but I'm gonna have to spend considerable money to get them to do anything.
Okay. Well, you know what, Cash? I mean, even though, oh crap, what was the other guy's name? There was Dougie and Lionel.
Yes,
You know what? Even though half
Lionel.
of the team, I had a guy stunned with fear, and Lionel could not land a single blow.
Okay,
But you know what?
he was more like a 500
Dougie did save
crypt.
Kairos. I mean, he ran up with me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we're sitting at about a 50% success rate for people that you hire. All right. But I will give you money. I'll give you money.
You're only focusing on 2 of the people I hired. And he points over to his driver.
I mean, you're right.
Allison.
Allison is great.
For
Allison,
sure.
top
She
notch.
saved all of our lives by getting rid of that
She-
vehicle with the tracking chip.
Allison gives a little nod at Amon Vect, appreciating the compliment, seeing as that the other 2 individuals who are now mortally wounded are on her bad graces.
It's true. I don't actually think that's an accident either. All right. I think that Allison is, she's
He's
good.
orchestrating
She
it
is.
all.
You want to be in her good graces. She's excellent at what
You
she
do.
does. I got to
That's
know
what
her
I'm
in the
saying.
car.
And thank you for respecting her through this whole journey, by the way. I just want you to know.
You're welcome. It's an extension of you, and I respect you, Cash. How much money do you need to hire us a little bit of a team? Bodies in front of me. How much does that going to cost?
4,500 is probably the best. Yeah, that's what I'm going to need. 4,500. I'm not going to take all of it. You got to have a little pocket cash.
You can feel free to make a intuition
I would love
check.
to make an intuition check. I love to make an intuition check on that one.
Can I
And
subconsciously help?
This is a skill that I'm actually very good at. Too,
Cash, why don't you go ahead and make I would assume a deception check with this one. I mean, although if you are serious, you can also make a charisma check, but it depends on where you fall in that range.
This is what I'll say before I make my roll. His intent will be to use as much of the money as possible to throw the kitchen sink at this for our success. However, maybe some of the money ends up in my pocket. It depends on what he doesn't know the numbers yet,
so to speak.
Well, then
I rolled
you
a
get
20.
to choose which one you want to do. Which one is it more deceptive or is it more charming? What is your charisma or
I am
guile?
what is actually okay, I was gonna say, is it guile? I'm gonna use charisma because this is his team. You don't get to be the premier in management by screwing your own team over. So
all right.
whoops. Okay. 21.
21. Okay. It could cost that much. This very, very close. So, it's yeah. I mean, Amon Vect, it's kind of left in your court as to how much, but you don't think he's necessarily trying to screw you over. You think he's probably just trying to figure out getting the best help possible.
I'm hedging my bets.
Yeah. All right. I wonder how much. Let me really quick look and see how much this job even pays. All right.
That is a fact.
We are way beyond.
Yeah.
Much more.
We
than
go
this job.
upside down in a mission. It's like shitty house.
This is pretty. I'm gonna live with you. I kind of feel like I'm already operating at a loss here, but this is. You know what?
Yeah, I am. I really am.
Yeah.
I just paid.
Cash. You know what? As long as you make sure some of the extra gets to Allison here, I will give you the 4,500. to find us a team so I don't die.
Cash,
You know.
shut
I
up. He has good ideas. I like this guy. This one, I'm okay with. And
He
she lifts
shuts
up her
up when she
cocktail and
says it.
continues drinking.
Yeah. All right. I will give you that. I will give you. I will leave myself with mere hundreds of crypt, so that you can get to work on this. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, Cash. You are now flush with
Your name.
generosity of Amon Vecht. Crypt, what are you doing?
Okay, for every 250 crypt that I spend, I can use an influence point, I believe, based on the
Double-
level of.
Yes.
Right. This is
So I
my
think-
first
I think
time
it
doing
goes
this.
up-
I'm sorry to all
I think
who
it goes
view.
up with level. So I think it's 750 for a level 3 contact. Is that right?
Yeah, let me see. You may spend
can
crypt
double
as if
check
it
the
were
rules
influence
here.
when hiring and using contacts. The cost is 250 times the contact level. Pardon me. Yeah. Okay. So. Yes.
Okay.
750.
Then it's to
for a
determine what, and remember, with the level of your contact, they'll get bonus,
Yeah.
right? So if you do a level 3 contact, if you spend, say, 2,250, you're actually rolling 4 dice instead of 3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So instead of just going straight solo on this, thank you for your investment in our future success. Let's take a quick second, Iman, and discuss this. I'm going to give
Yep.
you the breakdown. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what I like to call the hub. All right. This is
All
our
right.
options. I got people, I know people, and we're going to use these people to get us what we need.
Mhm.
First off, I got a buddy named Mr. Sorensen. He works for Talos Judicial. I've been keeping him abreast of all of the information of our entire trip over here. And when I say all, I mean everything, okay?
Mhm.
Basically, I'm what you might call, and he looks around, a snitch, all right? Okay?
All right. I appreciate the candor.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got a buddy with no leg in the back. This is pretty dire. But I
We're
swear to
kinda-
God,
yeah,
after
yeah.
this, I'm done, all right? No problem. So we can always, they clearly got smiles and some fucked up things going on that boat. We can reach out to Talos Judicial for a heavy punch in, right? Maybe they
Yep.
are the tip of the spear.
Yep.
That's just one thing on top of my head. Then I got my buddy Vasily. Okay. He's into more corporate shit, cybernetics. I don't really know what exactly we would do there.
Yeah. But I like that you're throwing him out. I like that he wasn't
I'm giving
even
you the
number
hub.
1 on the list. I like
I'm
this.
giving you the
Alright.
hub.
I like it.
Then we got my buddy Carl. Okay, he's
Mhm.
government affairs, homeland security.
Mm.
If these guys are doing
Unfortunately, yeah.
something, that's kind of risque towards back home,
Maybe.
yeah.
I
that-
like.
those are-
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
Okay.
think about
The
that.
door is open.
Yeah. We got Sergeant Logan, the wonderful provider of Douglas over there. I
Mm.
might be able to appeal to him for some type of support, emergency airdrop. Maybe it's like a drone strike or something, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This guy's got some resources on some pretty heavy stuff.
Yep.
So that's where my mind immediately goes there. You feel free to come up with your own ideas.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I haven't reached out to Dr. Wirtz, but she's kind of a history buff and also into smuggling. Okay. So maybe that's how we get in. Maybe we could she could help us sneakily get in via smuggling shit. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. A lot of this is going to be really down to the wire too. So we got to make sure this works.
I'm gonna tell you what. My 5 head has already come up with, I think, a plan. Now, I'm not a planner, all right?
Your
I'm more of a
5 head?
follower. I don't want to be the head of an
5 head?
organization.
Mhm.
I want to be the neck, right? I want to be the neck of an organization, holding up the head, okay? So I don't really think of the ideas. But I've
Don't
got
worry,
one.
I'll be the head.
All right. Oh, sweet. what if we split our ideas here? Here's what I'm thinking. We utilize your contact to potentially get ourselves, you know, we're smugglers, right? We're just your run-of-the-mill everyday mom and pop smuggler, right? We're just trying to get to the docks to smuggle some goods, right? That's all we're trying to do.
Where smugglers go.
That's where smugglers, it's their hideout of choice. On top of smuggling, right, we're gonna find our way, hopefully, to the Dauntless, where we will hopefully, now I'm not the most stealthy guy, right, but I'm hoping that there is some way what we can possibly do. Here's where my plan comes into motion, all right? We get to the docks surreptitiously, under false pretenses, all right? And then we use a raid from Talos Judicial to pull away those who are watching, keeping an eye on our team, and we get them out, hopefully, with minimal crossfire and minimal bullet holes.
I gotta
right?
be honest with you. A Talos Judicial raid, to me, feels like the exact bombastic smoke screen that we need to get in there and do what we gotta do.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, but I also feel, I mean, Dougie's got to come along. At this point, I feel like Dougie's an honorary member.
Yeah, Doug, so he'll be with us. It's not a problem.
Awesome. I feel like backup might, but we're getting into the weeds here. I've given you a little bit of my idea. I think some backup would be a decent thing to try to obtain, whether that is, maybe it's a drone, right? Maybe it's Lionel's little brother. Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me out. Me, you, Douglas, right?
Yep. Dream team.
We need to be agile right now. Like the best companies, we need to be agile, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we can pull off something where Talos... if we could pull something off where Talos on the front end is making a lot of noise and diverting most of their attention, and we use this like smuggling, sneaking in the back route, right? The goal is you and I, it's like you said, I'm a, what did you call me? A snappy dresser?
Good looking, snappy dresser, yeah.
And you,
I'm rocking a little bit of the derelict look. Okay, cool.
No, yeah, you've got a great thing going for you. So, but we aren't the people who fight. We are Extraction Team 1, right?
All right. I like that.
So that's the best I could come up with. I just don't know, you know, our backup is going to be knocking on the front door if we can, because look, Talos is a big hammer that you can't unswing.
You're right. I try. The only thing I want to do.
Also, if we get caught with Talos, let me just make this clear: we're fucked too, right?
I'm a little worried about it.
Like, we got plenty of. You may not know this about
Maybe
me.
We're just smugglers. Maybe
I'm a bit of a criminal.
Ooh, humble smugglers. We're not Eidolons, and.
Well, I mean, it's not the Eidolon part that'll get us. It's the very, very long list of crime that I have behind me. I cannot stress this enough.
Okay.
I cannot be seen.
Well, but you could always make it out as another team member. You could look like Teth again. You know his face, right? You could even leave as the bellboy, whatever his name was. His very German name. You could even leave as him. You know,
I could. Putting him on the scene of that crime would ruin his life,
and we have set him up for success.
Like
right? Jeff,
like he's somehow now associated with 3 points and whatever the fuck is going on.
It's true. I don't want to see Jeff end up worse off than he already has been. Okay. Oh
no, I'm gonna use Jeff. I like that. Sorry, you thought I was saying no. I was saying that's great because he's an innocent guy.
Okay,
it's the last person you would expect to be there.
All right, so why don't we?
Me.
Yeah, we'll do our smuggler Talos plan. I want to call my contact, Ashra. I want to see if the Conclave is aware of any. Aware of any
terrifying
psychic present, psionics operating this area, who might be involved in some of this, who might be trying to obscure my incredible skills.
You
of
like
sight.
Reverse trace there, like they try
to push on you. It doesn't really work like that.
Okay, yeah, well, I don't know.
But I mean, it's
what was that
I'm using
star 6'9".
Yeah, we're trying a little bit of an analog thing where I just kind of call and I ask for info, and I'm gonna see if they know. Because any insight I can have, right? They gave us on our previous mission, because you weren't around for this, but I'm gonna fill you in, even though you probably don't know.
I read all
She
the
gave me
details.
she gave me some info on Crimson Gin, and I thought, well, this is actually really good info to have. So I'm hoping maybe they'll be like, oh, well, maybe it's Big Pete. He's known for screwing up visions. It's probably him. I don't know. So I think while you are setting up your folks, I'm going to run my own separate.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna give that a try.
Okay. I think that sounds like a plan. Are you guys ready to contact?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Perfect. Why don't we Cash, you are gonna reach out to a couple of contacts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
So then,
formulating.
why don't
although
you
I'm
formulate what you want to spend on that sort of stuff? In the meantime, Connor, you're going to reach back out to Ashra.
Yes.
Is there an amount of influence you are going to spend?
Oh, you know it, Paul. Let's see here. I spent 8 on our previous call, I think.
Yep.
She's at
And
level
please don't
4
forget,
right now. Yeah.
Please don't forget that every influence you spend on a contact turns into 1 experience per influence. So make sure you are documenting that so your contacts can level up and improve.
Oh, I sure have been. Ashra is skyrocketing. I'm going to. She's level 4 with she's doing great. I'm gonna spend 8 influence, and so at level 4, that gives me what? An additional 1 dice, right?
Level 4 might be pushing 2 additional
I can't
dice.
remember.
Let me jump in to the rulebook here real quick. That is not the document. If somebody else beats me there, then awesome.
I am going to try to find it.
It's gonna be in character creation.
Control
F. Influence. So for those watching, you have contacts in House of Eidolons, and contacts utilize a resource that you get by completing missions or sub objectives of missions that then you spend on contacts, and contacts help you gather resources or do a lot of different things, but essentially your reputation, your kind of influence over a whole bunch of different NPCs. This is kind of like a town, and if you think about D&D, this is like a town in your pocket. You can call these contacts, ask them to do things for you. Okay, so it looks like
it's 2 dice.
Level 4, it is 2 dice.
Sweet.
To all checks, so it would be 10 dice.
10 dice total.
8.
6.
It pays to
8,
save up your influence for big
10.
rolls.
Yes, it does. And before I forget, I'm going to add the experience to her, so it's 8 additional experience. She is doing great. All right, let's see what we get. It's going to be a little bit of a time waster because I am horrible at math. So yeah, give me just a second here. We're going to pick out the easy ones first.
Yeah, while he's doing the math, folks, a big part of why we have the contacts and why they're such an important factor, and specifically our pregame. They're useful here, obviously, during the mission, but it really helps you build a narrative based around the mission you're trying to achieve, and you as a player create your own initial contacts, backstory, how you know them, what they're capable of. And when you provide that to the GM, it gives our GM, for example, a ton of fuel to play with what your character can shore up when it comes to, say, weaknesses, right? Let's say somebody doesn't have a net diver on their team, and you have a net diver contact that help kind of bridge that little gap of missing data that you may need from subspace.
44 is the total of the roll.
44.
44 is the total.
So go ahead and make the call to Ashra.
All right. Yep. Ring, ring, ring.
Of course. Hey, Iman.
Hey,
how did the delving go?
Oh, I got an experience for you, actually. So it was good. We found, I think, where she's at. But And here's the deal. At the end, I had this push, right? I was getting uh, manhandled at the end of this vision, I believe by some other scion that may be involved here, who was trying to obscure the sending, or the scrying, sorry.
There's
I am.
certainly scions in Berlin. Who are you? Are you dealing with a different house here?
We are currently. Let me give you the rundown, all right? In short, we are looking for a missing team of Eidolons from the House of Fathoms. Now, this has been wrapped up here in a couple of bigger places. Obviously, we have um, 3 Points Medical has been associated with this, and I know that we
corporation.
yes, which I believe we had a little bit of a run-in during the Crimson Gin incident.
Oh, interesting.
Quite. You see, I'm connecting these dots as we speak. And I am, so 3 Points is involved. We were also attacked by some members of Ronin Eidolons, and I don't know if there are any psionics that you may be familiar with operating in the Berlin area who might be
Your
sellswords.
explain to me. You were delving the object with Sage
Yes.
and were assaulted
Towards the
during
end of
this.
the vision, I was pushed out. I felt a pressure pushing as
Right.
I was at the very end. So I was able to fortunately glean the information that I needed. But I
So we're
was.
talking about. I think we're talking about a very powerful psionic capabilities if they are able to detect you delving an object, possibly, I'm assuming, miles away
Mhm.
from where this person you're looking for is, correct?
On top of that, able to push me out even with the aid of Amma, which is frightening
Right.
to me.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you take your time.
A scion of that power in the Berlin area, certainly not a Ronin. Most Ronin are not going to be running around with extreme psionic capabilities. Certainly there are Scion Ronin,
Mhm.
and there might be some that we don't know of, but we're talking about a well-trained Scion. Do you think that there is another house involved in this mission, or do you think it is just the corporation? And certainly House of Fathoms has very few Scions employed. I highly doubt it's House of Fathoms. Do you have any inkling or have you seen any hint to another house involved?
No. I'm having.
Then there is only one option, Amon, that I know of, and you need to be very careful. In Berlin, there is a sort of legend of a very powerful Cylon known as Vanderberg. Vanderberg has never connected with the Conclave, refuses to, and has even been known to have killed a couple of Conclave agents. We know very little about Vandenberg other than he is a very powerful scion. We believe at a young age he was experimented on by the now defunct Tharson Corporation, a mega corporation that collapsed almost 100 years ago. A rogue cell of Tharson Corporation, a black site, continued experimentation on scions. We believe we believe that Vandenberg is from that cadre. If it is Vandenberg, you're dealing with a scion who is very proficient in... sorry for breaking the mood, but I need to look up my psionic powers. I don't have them all memorized.
It's okay. I've been freaking out during this entire conversation that I'm going to be facing this like this, so I need to be broken. This is good.
He said, "Great."
Good. Awesome.
Very proficient in telepathic resonance and telekinetic manipulation. We also believe he is carrying some sort of EMS experimental technology that enhances even further these abilities. The kind of which we don't think exists anywhere else.
Oh. This is interesting. A bit of information for you. We have been looking for experimental EMS things. This is what this part of this team was here for. I wonder if 3 Points has been working on some of this old Tharson research or supplying Vandenberg with some components for this enhanced EMS.
It could be, but 3 Points, I've not heard of this corporation. It sounds like something small. What is 3 Points Company?
They're small, but they have been able to make some incredible inroads in a small amount of time, which to me speaks to some sort of potentially...
Shell.
What was that?
It's a shell company. It's some sort of, probably backed by some sort of larger company, but not in any official way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I am of course forgetting. I think we actually had a discussion about this, but I don't have
Samsara Medical.
Samsara Medical. Thank you so much. I believe it's Samsara Medical.
Could be. Certainly Samsara is not guiltless in the experimentation on scions, as with most mega corporations.
They're in town out here too right now.
They
Sorry,
are.
Cash
Yeah, right. No.
but also
No, I was going through my notes right now because we've got right now.
Oh, yes, Cash can just listen in.
That's true. Yeah, that works. I think I have it in my notes as Numa.
As it
Is
was
that right?
happening, I'm sitting on my couch. I'm gurgling once you said shell company. I'm like subconsciously trying to say it.
Right, Numa, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she is a high-ranking official within.
And she was staying at the same hotel as this missing House of Fathom's team around the time that they ended up getting abducted.
All I can say, Amon Vecht, is the more I think on it, the more it makes sense that another scion with the capabilities also of telepathic resonance, which is of course what is used to delve into objects and would have to be very frighteningly powerful. I can't think of another scion within the Berlin area other than Vandenberg, if it's not tied to a house. You're dealing with very likely a very dangerous scion, but he is also a very secretive scion. He is powerful, but he is above all else cautious, which means likely he will avoid confrontation if he can. Now, depending on how involved he is with whatever is going on, if he is employed and is a part of Samsara Medical or a part of this 3 Points, he might stand his ground. But if he is hired, if he is just a hired hand by these corporations, I would suspect he will not stick around and risk his neck, or risk exposing his location. He has always been elusive, but if you can, and if you have any capability or you are able to render him, and I'm not saying do this, but if you are able to render him at a point where his powers are not active, the Conclave, of course, would be very, very interested in helping Vandenberg.
All right.
So please keep me informed, regardless of what happens. Just know if it does come to a showdown, if it does come to a situation and you are able to neutralize Vandenberg, of course, like any Scion, please try to keep him alive.
Of course.
And we will try to help him. If
All
he
right.
is willing.
Honestly, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Ashra. Thank you. Thank you. I'm terrified, frankly, but thank you.
Of course. And a couple of other notes.
Yes.
When you are through this mission, Crimson Jinn has expressed interest in reaching out to you. I will send over her information to you for you to reach out to her. Sounds like she might need some help or assistance with something. Might be a good inroad into making a connection and even possibly tutelage. I would love to see her break from Red Saffron, the Syndicate. That's no place for her. Perhaps in time and working with you, she might see a new path. Finally,
I agree, yeah.
Sage Ama has also said she is excited, actually, to speak with you after the mission. Do reach out. I'll send her contact information as well. And she is sending you something. It should arrive at the House of Odin in some time, but be watching for it.
All right. Thank you. You know what, Ashra? You always do right by me. Thank you so much. I gotta go. I gotta figure this out. But thank you. I love you, and I will see you later.
Aman, be safe.
I do my best every day. Right.
she goes.
Sweet. Wow. Okay. Awesome. That's actually really terrifying and also very exciting. Okay. Well, I definitely want to survive this mission now.
I would like to draw the audience's attention
I was about to say something.
Lovely, smooth jazz music playing.
This is really good. Yeah.
I am never going to remove this song from the playlist because it just hits. It just comes and throws you for a...
Really, again, it adds a certain level. I'm glad that it happened during my call with Ashra.
Very noir vibes going on right now.
I'm going to read deeply into this as you concluded your call with Ashra and believe that you're into it.
Yeah. This is,
Drama.
Ashra, by the way, I met a girls. You'll never tell. Beautiful. Okay. Hey, Cash. You heard half of that conversation.
Actually, I heard the whole thing. This is a good time for me to tell you I've been spying on everybody's phone calls this whole time.
Oh, you know what? Frankly, I'm not even a little bit offended. I'm thankful for it. I've got a worrying thing to consider with you. I just want to put this out there. I think the mystery man that we may have seen with Teth Zero might be this guy, this Vandenberg, and I'm a little afraid.
Why would you be afraid? We already have his foil, baby.
Being discovered.
Precisely. So we go in loud and hot in some way,
right.
and
I'm
he's
thinking
running in the shadows.
No, that was my first thing. I thought a TJ raid, which is for those watching who are like, what? Who's TJ? Talos Judicial. Who's like these super police.
If you've ever watched Altered Carbon on Netflix, think of the Praetorians. Big bad police law enforcement, basically.
Yeah. I'm thinking a raid from them is hopefully going to drive him out.
I agree.
But you know
what? That might be our best smokescreen.
And this is just between you and I, Cash, honestly. I think that I could probably, this is real, I think I could connect with him. Because I also was caged. Now, I wasn't experimented on quite as much as him, but maybe.
Let me ask you
one day.
Are you familiar with the tale of Icarus?
Careful, Icarus.
It's a very old tale, right?
Yeah, but somehow I know about it.
But it's almost like you're saying, like, look, I got my wings, and I'm gonna definitely fly even closer, and it's not gonna happen to me, right? Like that's
You
couldn't
know,
possibly.
frankly, Cash, thank you for being my Dauntless. I will be very careful to
That's
not
all I'm saying. I
to
don't want your
not
wings to melt,
fly
but
too close to the sun. I guess worst case, right? Metaphorical psionic bullet to my head. I mean, in this case, probably be like a stone or something. He's in Crush People. I will try to connect with him, but only as a last resort. Only as a last resort. Thank you.
okay.
You can
Well,
feel free to do yours now.
no. With
But
that
I just,
information, I have to know. Do you have anything of value on your body? Because I can't carry you out. So,
you know what? I actually, you've seen me use it before. On my neck, I've got this beautiful pendant, and I will take out the haunted pines. I've
if you
got
go
this.
down and your head explodes, I'm taking that thing.
I ask though, please, if you can do one thing by me, give this to the conclave. They will pay you handsomely. You can't use this item even because it's
Say no
not
more.
going to be very helpful. But
Oh,
I
I can.
want
I
it to
will
get
only
to them.
use it for money and
Oh,
influence. So there it is.
and I'm not even worried about it. If that's your driver,
Okay.
this thing will get
No,
you
yeah,
there.
I'll get it to the conclave. You have my word, and I will put my hand out to shake your hand.
All right. I will shake his hand. That we are slowly beginning to get comfortable with this. Touching is
If
starting.
there's anything you need to know about me, is that my word is solid gold, very malleable.
All right, nice. Yeah, because that
Yeah,
is gold. Is I like that. You know what,
yeah.
Cash? You're a good guy. You're a good guy. We'll get along well. All right. Oh, also, we should keep an eye out for Samsara and stuff. It's kind of making me really weirded out that obviously there is this sort of experimental EMS that may have been utilized to make this guy so remarkably powerful. I'm a little worried about Samsara Medical, if I'm being honest with
I
you.
spend my entire life. The man before you is a product of fear of Samsara Medical. Okay,
Oh,
I cannot stress this enough. I don't know if you remember the very beginning when we all met. I have stolen a lot of money from Samsara Medical as an organization, and
yeah.
I do not want to cross paths with them at all.
Once again, a uniting factor between you and I.
Yeah,
However,
me and you.
in your time at Samsara, did you hear anything about this? About experimental EMS?
I don't know, God. Did I?
Would you go ahead and make a cognition check?
Yep. Let's okay, that's not bad. I'm good at those. Wait, I did too many, maybe.
Maybe not. It's usually quite a few
Yeah,
dice.
cognitive is usually pretty high.
Yep. Nope.
I
I did
adjust
the right
the
amount.
threshold to compensate.
23.
23. In your time with Samsara Medical, you were not high enough nor privy to usually black site corporate activity.
Yeah, makes sense.
You worked a lot with the books. You worked a lot with the marketing, of course, and networking side of Samsara Medical. You do know that Samsara Medical, of course, does help develop things like the psionic resonator and the the psychic resonator and the psionic amplifier, which are the two key components to amplification of psionic capabilities. But they are hardly the only corporation who does so. You know that Violet Technologies does so as well, and there's a number of other medical-based corporations who can do that. Could it have been Samsara? Absolutely. But nothing that you would know of.
Okay. Yeah, so I was more of like a fixer, optics, PR, you know, all around face.
I played to your
so
strengths.
not a lot
I
on the
like
back
that.
end. Yeah,
Yeah,
handle a lot
okay.
of money, things like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, that for sure. I mean, well, just something to think about, right? Something that's going to be rattling around rent-free in my head for a while. So,
Sure. You seem like you
figured
think
I'd-
about a lot. I just want to
cool.
make sure that when we're out there in the field, you don't spend all your time thinking and no time acting. All right?
You know, it's actually funny. The Venn diagram for a scion is actually, even when I am acting, I'm thinking, because that's how I shoot
that's
stuff with my
insane.
mind. Yeah, it's it's a living. Anyway,
It
we'll
seems
let
like the
you.
perfect balance because I'm like mostly action and then I'll recap. I'll think about it at
Yeah.
the end, right? And
You
then
know,
I
a
only
good
think about it when
debrief.
it's time to get out of what I'm in, you know?
Yeah. Oh well, then we'll mesh just fine. Anyway,
Perfect.
I'll let you
Begin
give your
my
calls.
yelling, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stand close by too, since you know.
Yeah, I'll put it on speakerphone.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
'cause
is
you use
that?
a phone.
What is speakerphone? I don't even understand.
Yeah, not a
I'm
problem, I'll
excited
show
to
you.
see what this is.
Check out my BlackBerry.
Wow. All right,
No,
I'm
I
thrilled.
Of
think
course
you're-
you have a BlackBerry. Yes, it has to be a BlackBerry.
A little scrolling wheel.
Yeah. All right. Wow. That
I don't
is
think they're a
really.
company anymore, so we're allowed to say BlackBerry on the air.
They
unless I'm
are.
wrong,
I
so.
actually have in my drawer here one of the
Oh, no.
last manufactured BlackBerry phones. I love this thing. This is the Key One.
Yeah.
They're obviously. I loved BlackBerry. This thing had like a haptic keyboard, so you
Everybody did.
could scroll like it was the screen, but it was just a keyboard. I was so all about. I
And
had
handle
so
it.
many Blackberries growing up. Big BlackBerry guy.
Pew,
I-
right
this
off
is
the
the
left
only
field.
BlackBerry I like.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cash, you have some calls to make
yes, first
and
I
some
will.
influence to spend.
Yes, before any calls are made, I'm going to turn to Allison. I'm going to say, hey, Allison, I do have a question for you. Remember how you saved our lives by taking that vehicle and driving it far away from here?
Oh yes, I'll be bringing that up a lot.
Wonderful. I appreciate it. Do you think there's anything in that vehicle, or do you know of anything that I can maybe use to give to some people so that they can maybe like trace it back to where it came from?
Like
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
like before you took it.
Yeah.
Yes, the tracking device that I got rid of would do.
Yeah, fantastic. You see, Amon, that's the kind of thinking that I'm talking about. I do. A lot of past thinking. Perfect. That would have been a great idea. Moving on. Thank you, Allison. I'm going to reach out to Henry, but I'm going to call Henry, not text him. And I have 6 influence to spend with the money, the value, based on, let me double check here. Actually, it could be a little more because Dr. Wirtz is only level 1. So we'll see how much I wind up spending on the Talos Judicial. I'm probably going to go pretty hard on that one, actually. So, yeah. So I'm going to call Henry. And hopefully he's a busy
he
guy.
picks up.
Maybe he'll pick up. Oh, all right. Yeah. Hey, Henry, you got a quick second to talk?
Yep.
Okay, so I sent you all that information about the warehouse yesterday, and I got a hot lead on some activity that I think your people would love to be in on. So those guys, the squad that I was telling you about, turns out they were going to a ship at the docks called the Dauntless, and we're pretty sure they're mixed up with some real bad crime shit, cannibalism. You've been following a lot of cannibalism, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, we think it might be happening on the Dauntless with that Smiles guy that I told you about. And not only that,
Location.
oh yeah, I'm gonna ping it for you. But here's the part. Here's the rub, if you will. I gotta go there. I got some very important people, some VIPs that I need to get the hell out of there. And if you want to stop talking to me after this, that's fine. But you're kind of my last chance, pal. Okay? This isn't about the blue cheese stuffed olives or your favorite beer or anything like that. This is I'm putting in all the chips on this one. I gotta be there. There's a team I gotta get out of there, and I need you guys to come and get the bad guys, and not me.
What are we talking about for threat?
Well, you got at least 3 of the Eidolons that I told you about. I'm gonna assume that you got, let's say 15 to 20 paramilitary on deck, and maybe a psionic.
this intel good, or you shitting me?
Listen, if this intel's not good, you can do whatever you gotta do with me, pal.
Yeah, I don't think you want that, Cash.
You're right, I don't. But what I really need is to save the lives of the people on board this ship. All right?
I need you to make a charisma check.
Okay. I figured as
Actually,
much.
I'm sorry, a guile check for me.
Guile. Okay. Let me real quick. Okay. 15.
Okay. All right, you got a couple options. And I don't know if I trust you, but I send a whole Talos judicial team. They don't find what is reported to be there. Not going to be good. And a whole team will move through that boat fast. So if it's less than what you're saying, you're going to be on a tight clock. Like, fucking seconds. All right? Now, you're pulling my leg a little bit, and it's likely less than what you're saying. I can send in one TJ officer. Okay? Do investigation. Reconnaissance style. I promise you, one TJ officer is more than enough to deal with 20 paramilitary units and a couple of Eidolons. But if we're talking a Scion user, and 3 Eidolons plus paramilitary, we're talking a 2 to 3 man squad of TJ. Again, it'll be brutal and it will be fast. Now, I'm gonna trust you that you're giving me at least something here, so this could blow back on me. But what is it? You asking for a whole TJ team? Or just some detective work by a single officer?
Can I put you on mute for a second and talk to a pal of mine? I want to make sure the intel's as good as it gets.
Just call me back. I got another call.
All right, thank
Hangs
you.
up.
Okay, Amon. Well, you heard that. So...
Yeah, wow. You know, this is just also becoming a lot more real for me because, like, I never knew how Talos Judicial operated, but I'm gonna level with you. The number of times I'm like, oh, TJ's gonna be here in a couple minutes. I'm like, well, okay.
Boys carry a big stick.
And yeah, and now I am.
Hey,
yeah, frankly,
like I said, it's a big hammer that you can't unswing.
You are right. You cannot unswing the hammer.
So
you are right.
See here that when Cash is telling you that he's gonna provide the cash for what you got. Right? Yeah. Okay. So now that we got that established,
yeah.
What do you think, pal?
How long is your? You know what? Why don't we? I am just so thrilled that half of our team is unfortunately not able to work right now. It's so cool. Allison, I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, and certainly no points against you if you don't, because I don't. Do you know roughly how far away the docks are by car?
Which docks?
Let me just look through my notes here. Now, of course,
the only docks are going to be on the Spree. But do you know what docks?
Oh. No.
You got a name of a boat?
I do. The Dauntless.
She taps the counter. 500. She pulls up the overlay and starts scrolling through the... And by the way, she said that to you. Cash.
Yeah, I know.
She starts scrolling through, and she actually does some low-level hacking in front of you guys. She's like, okay, yeah, it looks like about 15 minutes. We take
Okay.
the armored van. It'll be a bit slower, but this sounds like something we want an armored van for.
I think the armored van is good. I think
You know who got that armored van? Now's not the time for this.
I did.
Sorry.
right.
I did as a gift, as an apology.
She's
That was
just great. She really is. I don't know. I don't know if she's on Odin's payroll yet. She should be. She's great. She's great. I mean, she's
been with me
working.
for
I'm
ages.
just saying, you know, her mode's got some competition. Okay, Allison's capable.
Look, upon you saying her mode has competition, I just like rustle uncomfortably.
Okay.
15
So, 15 minutes.
And Allison's not getting tied up with Talos. She'll be
Allo-
pretty, far enough away that she's not getting caught in that.
Damn right. Damn, Amon.
Yep.
What he said.
Trust me. I'm not. If any, I don't want to put you in harm's way ever. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I think we take a jaunt down to the docks, just an exploratory jaunt, right? And we just, what's it look like down there, right? Get a rough idea. Because if there's a bunch of paramilitary down there, we're gonna know, hey, TJ, gonna need some, bring some firepower, right? We don't see much of anything. Maybe we do just have a single guy poking around, right? What are you thinking, Cash? I'm throwing stuff out here. I am not the plan guy.
Well, I'm I'm not keen on losing my contacts.
You're right.
I'm willing to do what it takes for the team, but I think the more conservative method, while it could be a little more intense in there, it might be the safer move for us. I don't think recon is necessary for us to. One Talos Judicial can handle 3 Eidolons and 15 to 20 paramilitary. I feel like
right.
one is definitely a lot
I'm
of
with you.
support for us.
Well, and we're forgetting we've got Dougie, right?
Of course we do.
And
I'd never
Dougie's gonna
forget
pull
Dougie.
his weight
He's over
with us.
there sitting down.
You know what? Douglas, come on over. Let's get him in on this. Yeah, let's just say
slowly
the one.
comes on over.
Dougie.
Yep.
Douglas, your Christian name? It's good to finally chat a little bit more.
Red is the ominous. This is a poor
Christian.
decision. Music kicks
Your
in.
VAT name, Dougie. Is that your VAT name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my
That's-
bad name.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. Well, Douglas.
Name, I
Oh.
think.
Oh, well,
Unless they changed
alright.
it.
So here's
What's
the deal.
in a name?
We're gonna let you in on a little bit more information than you probably ever should have had when I first hired you. As you can see, we're a little bit down and out. All right. We're looking at using Talos Judicial as a smokescreen to help us get in.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now, pal.
How many Talos Judicial?
Well, we're either gonna get a team for this ship, the Dauntless, or one.
Yeah. Somewhere between 1 and 2 many.
You ever seen Talos operate, Douglas?
I've seen videos.
Okay, so what do you think? All of us going in? You're on the team.
Are we going against those Eidolons again?
Uh-huh.
It seems possible.
I think they're most likely gonna be around.
Well, if it's us 3 and the TJ, probably could take them. Might be rough. What, a squad of TJ? Shit. That's a lot. We might get fucked.
I'm gonna be yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want that.
I mean, how fast are you guys?
Not.
I'm
He
fast
looks
as
over at
fuck.
Amon with,
Yeah.
with suspicious looking eyes.
Douglas,
Why are you looking at him like
you
that?
remember
guys, like, run a
watching me
marathon together or
run.
something? What's going on?
Not fast, Doug. You
I'm
know
not-
that.
I'm not really a plan guy either.
No, I'm the
I'm
plan
just-
guy.
I'm
All right.
just saying, 2 or 3 TJ, especially 3 TJ, a full squad. You guys better be on Strider and probably some stim.
Yeah, everybody
Gotta
that
be fast.
every professional is telling us, Cash, that we shouldn't have more than one TJ officer. I think we just have
It's also
the one.
risky because we are. Well, just look around you right now, okay? We're not exactly the white collars here, okay?
You're
The
right.
white.
Oh, you guys are fucking houses. Talos loves bagging house members. Paramilitary too.
You know,
Eyes.
aptly put, Dougie. That is really good. Yeah. Okay.
So, one
Mm-hmm.
is probably best for our interests, although a team, while we might not be the ones securing, a Talos team would probably take care of a good amount of the threat easily and quick.
It would. I think just one, because we need to make it out with we need to make it out with the House of Fathom's team. And if TJ wants to get Eidolons, I think that they're gonna say we got a whole bunch of them.
You're calling who? Henry?
Henry, yeah.
Yep.
I really don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, man. So let's go with one. Just investigation. I thank you for giving me a temper. Yep. On this, with one, I am going to use 4.
Okay. That'll be 5 dice plus 2, or plus 2.
Yes.
I think plus 2.
He's actually on level 3.
Yeah,
so
level 3. So at level 2 you get plus 1, but then also at level 3 I think you either get plus and like to the total.
Let me look.
1 second.
Level
I have
3.
the page pulled up.
Yeah,
what's level 3? Is it plus 1?
Level
to the
3
total?
plus 2 bonus to expertise area checks.
Yep.
Oh.
So in this case, you'd roll 5d6 if you're spending 4 influence, 5d6, and add plus 2 to the results. And then increases experience and decrease, I think that's going to cost you 3,000 at level 3. Yes, 3,000.
Yes.
Crypt.
Okay.
So for those who are watching, Cash is playing a broker tree of the agent class, and a part of that is it's literally a class built around utilizing contacts. And so one of their key functionalities is that they can actually spend money in place of influence to continue utilizing contact well beyond what other Eidolons could. Okay, what'd you get?
23.
23. All right, continue with your request.
Yeah, I would just say one guy, and I got to make sure this guy's not going to turn on us in the middle of this mission, man.
Ain't gonna promise that.
Fuck.
When do you need him to drop?
From where I'm at, it's going to take me about 15 minutes to get there. I'm going to look over while I'm on the call that I'm on, like, what do you think? Maybe like leaving 3 hours?
Oh, we'll leave in 3 hours. I think that's a good call. Yeah.
We're going to depart in 3 hours. It's going to take us 15 minutes to get there. So 3 hours and 15 minutes away from whatever time it is currently.
All right. 3 hours, 15 minutes. I will send... TJ Officer Payne. He will be coming in hot via drop onto the ship, the Dauntless. You gonna send me those locations?
Yes, absolutely. I'll send them to you. And just for my own knowledge here, do we need to actively avoid this guy? Is there any way you could tell him that there are like friendlies on board, you know?
No, fucking avoid him.
All right. I tried.
You're good.
Thank you so much, Henry. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. 3 hours, 14 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Close it. I'm gonna look at Allison and I'm gonna be like, Allison, I need you to keep a timer on us. We've got to be there. I would like to be there 15 minutes before that fucking guy drops.
So 2 hours, 45 minutes. We need to put 43 minutes until we leave. Okay, got it. She pulls up
Okay.
a clock and gets a timer going in the overlay.
Yep. Please keep me honest on this. I cannot fuck this up. Okay. So I am going to now that's 3,000 gone. Real quick. Just trying to make sure I'm boom. Boom. I am now going to reach out to first time on the stream, Dr. Lori Wirtz, whose specialty, she's actually a doctor of history, but she's a smuggler.
Okay. So you call out to her.
I do.
Yes, hello, Cash. What can I do for you?
Dr. Wirtz, you know, I wish this wasn't always the case when I called you, but I'm in a jam.
Naturally. What can I help with?
I've got about 3 hours. I'm in Berlin. There's a ship called the Dauntless I will give the site of the docks that we have now gone over. And I gotta find a way into this ship. I know it's kind of a long stretch.
Influence.
Yeah.
What are you rolling?
She is only level 1.
No bonuses, but only 250 per dice.
Yep, 250, and I have 15, and I'm gonna spend the rest of the 15 on her. 1,500. So
that'd be 6 dice.
Yep.
There goes all of Connor's money.
Ash knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Well.
Oh damn. Okay. $27.
Okay, and so what was the request again? Can you reiterate?
I need a surefire way for us to be able to get on this ship within the next 2.5 hours to 3 hours. I'll give her the timeline information and like the whole situation.
I see. Well, let me see what I can do. I do know of some smugglers in the area. Perhaps you can take on their namesake for the moment. Please send the location information. I will have to make some calls. I suggest you get on site. I don't know how long it will take me, but be ready once I do.
We'll do so, and I'll send it along with your money.
Right. Take care, Cash.
Yep. I just realized, by the way, in this conversation as a player, that essentially what I'm doing right now is actively bribing these people with cash.
Yep.
Which I love.
That is correct.
That is what the broker does.
I've always thought of it as a game mechanic, but playing it as the actual character, I'm like, oh shit, he's bribing people.
Yep.
That's very, yeah, okay. All right.
We're going to change it from this song because this is a little too intense for the moment.
Pretty intense.
Okay.
Back down to my pocket change.
All right. So, you have about 2 hours and 40 minutes before you need to be leaving. Is there anything you want to do in that time? Any other things?
Hey, Mon, we need drugs. We were on site. We had a difficult time getting the wounds sealed up. Me and you, if we get wounded, we need drugs.
Yeah.
I got no money, pal. I got 10 crypt to my name.
Hey, you know, I'm starting to know how that feels. But we can, I mean, isn't there a Sawbones in the back of this establishment who's now also the owner of this establishment? I mean, maybe he'll give us a deal on some medication.
He left for the day.
He is not.
It's not. We could
currently
get some
seeing
drugs.
patients. Good.
Yeah, he did offer his drug services, but we just have to.
We gotta. Do you have his contact information? You sold this man an establishment. I feel like you should know. All right. Good.
Douglas kind of like.
I'm gonna look up his.
There's some. He left some medication.
Look at that.
I'm not taking Kairos's medication, Dougie. That's not good.
Maybe we do like what they do in like we it's a zombie apocalypse. We like take a can of Coke and we leave like $5 and we're like that'll do it. This grocery store's closed, sort of thing.
I don't want Kairos to die.
I don't want Kairos to die either, but I also don't want us to die. Let's just see what's over here. What sort of medication did he leave behind?
You have several doses of P2 Trink and several doses of Annie. P2 Annie.
Okay.
Actually,
God.
Annie is... Never mind. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Not Annie. P2 Trank and... Sorry, one second. Booting up
You're good.
pharmacy.
Wow, Kairos looks like shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and several P2 hypos. That's
Okay.
what I meant by Annie.
Okay.
You got like a marker or something? We should draw something on his face.
Look, I want to steal the medication. I don't want to be childish about this.
I'm just here to potentially end this man's life.
Look, we're professionals. Okay. Cash, I'm gonna level with you. I think you and I both need to take a dose of Trank, and the only reason I'm saying that is that if we end up getting close to somebody, I want to put him out. I want to put him out is what I really want to do.
Are you thinking conk?
I am thinking conk, not sorry, that's my bad. I'm thinking
Come on,
Trank.
man. What are
There is a dose or two of conk there as well, though.
All right. 2 doses. I'm taking a dose of conk. I'm
Okay.
tucking that in a pocket.
Add a P2 conk to your pocket,
To my pocket. Okay, let me get that up here.
or wherever you store doses of drugs.
All right, good.
I'll take one of those. And these aren't like
Conk?
actively attached to him in some way, right? Like it's like a
No.
pilot
This
not
is
an
on
IV
a counter
drip.
for you guys
Okay.
to administer to him if his pain levels start getting out of course, or if he wakes up, you can conk him again. These sort of things.
Oh no. Be
Consequences
down
of his
bad,
action.
not have the drugs.
I have
he
just
needs.
been bleeding and twitching and coughing this whole time. It's just pain.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a dose of conk.
All right, so both doses of conk are taken. Let's hope that Josh doesn't Kairos wake up anytime soon. Are you guys taking any
Can't feel it
hypo
if you're
or trank?
unconscious.
Yes, I will take
yeah.
1 hypo and 1 Trank as well.
Okay,
And these are both B2, you said?
P2. Yeah, all of the doses are P2. P2, just so you know, P2, especially for medical reasons, is kind of like the typical
The default. Okay.
administration. Yeah,
Okay.
unless like you're in, and he's in pretty dire straits, but you worked with a repo surgeon. He hardly cares about providing you the correct dosage of strength.
I also want to. I'm going to make a. Since we're in here, I'm going to make a medicine check to see if I can determine whether or not we should be administering a dose or two to our friends in here. 8.
No, they look
Dr.
good.
Connor. Okay. All right. Look.
Yeah,
at
they
that.
look uncomfortable. They're like
Yeah.
groaning a little bit, but it's kind of par for the course,
Hey
right?
mom, what are you doing? Your hands, they're not sanitary. You can't touch him.
Oh, I didn't know you were a doctor.
Like a sterile environment. I mean, I've seen
Yeah, but
enough
look
of the
at-
show.
but look at
the vids, you know?
them.
As he's standing on the tarp and he's lying on the couch.
They're sleeping like angels. Little angels in
Oh
pain.
yeah, right. I'll go check on Uzi.
Yeah. Oh, I'll come with. Oh, yeah, that's right. You've got an affection for Uzi. I won't interrupt.
No, man. No, hey, no. I'm
No,
this
no.
is
If she
business.
wakes
This
up,
is
I want it to be
business.
a sweet moment between you two. I don't want
No,
it to
it's
be.
not gonna be sweet.
a moment
Now,
between
you,
the
you
three
made it
of
real
us.
weird now.
Okay,
Now I-
okay. Well, then I guess if I made it weird, I'll just complete the deal.
Yeah, please.
All right. All right.
I'm actually gonna check on Uzi. Just make sure she doesn't need drugs. Same thing.
Okay,
I
go
like
ahead and make
the
medicine
idea.
check.
Yeah, I liked the idea there.
I'm gonna reload. I'm just off the
7.
grid, and it is driving me just a little wild.
No. If you right-click on your token,
Okay. Oh.
it's that little little waffle thing. If you click that, that will snap you to
Oh.
grid.
Okay.
It's just if you want to be
That's
like,
Yeah,
go
sort
into
of
a
free.
spot that is not on the grid, you can freeform it. I'm sorry, what'd you roll?
7.
Yeah, she's good.
Couple of docs in the house.
Yeah, look at us. Look at us. You know what? If it doesn't work out, I feel like we should really
You
enroll
go
in
open up.
medical school.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see how
Well,
that
now
goes.
that we
All
know
right.
that they're totally safe and sound.
Yep. Now my conscience is clean. Let's go. Let's go up over here again.
Yeah.
You know what? I am gonna snap out of this because that is that seems to be the way to traverse the bar. All right.
Yeah, you can snap to grid if we get into combat encounter sort of situations.
Okay. We've got a couple of hours. Oh, are there any other favors we can call in?
If I'm doing any other favors, I'm gonna need some money.
Well,
But I can do favors.
I don't doubt that.
Hey, if you're gonna be a tight person, it's not a problem. I support you. Okay.
No, a tight person? A tight person? A tight person wouldn't have given you anything. A tight person wouldn't give you $4,500 to do your job. So we're gonna go ahead.
I understand that to the poorer folk, 4,500 is a lot of crypt. Okay, and I don't mean to.
I grew up in a
poke
cage.
that there.
You're fine.
My
You're not
apologies. I know.
stepping
That's
on
what
my
I'm saying.
toes.
I'm just
Yeah, I get you.
recognizing you grew up in a cage. I grew up, in high society doing amazing things. Oh yeah, you want any of this leftover beef cheek from this morning?
I still think the beef cheek is people, so I'm not gonna eat it. But
I
thank
don't
you.
care either way. So
I still have this theory in my head that somehow there is people involved. In
Allison, where are we at on time?
2 hours 30 minutes.
2 hours and 30 minutes, Cash. I feel like we should at least get around the docks, don't you think? We should.
Yeah, being on site is good. That's what Dr. Wirtz said. She doesn't know when she'll be able to fulfill our obligation to do or her obligation to do some of this.
Yeah.
Just one. I do have a question. I have a slot for a persona
Yeah.
to take on.
Right. Who, you're wondering, ought you to be?
Might there be someone beneficial? Because like Kairos would be easy. I've heard him talk a lot, and I could just look at him right now and take on that. That's nothing.
You saw the figure, because I went into your mind. You saw the figure that was with Teth Zero, didn't you?
I would have to be able to see that figure again for 1 minute to study it to be able to lock it in.
Yeah, that's not going to work. But boy, if it had, I feel like that would have been a real ace in the hole for us.
Yeah, it would have been good.
That's
maybe.
all right. Let's think about
Boy,
this.
should I go start the car?
Please, Allison. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Allison, she anticipates what you need. Wow, I really...
Now you understand why she was...
I mean, I feel like I understood right away. I was certainly...
Okay, well.
But a little fancy for me, but that's fine. Douglas.
Yeah.
Dougie. Do you want to... anything you like to do pre-battle? Do you need to grab ammunition? Special ammunition? Anything fun? I've got 275 crypt that I could load your rifle up with some special ammo.
I should be okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, here's a quick thought. Amon, what if I study you and I could become you if need be?
Flattered. Yeah. Right? I think that freaked people out. That certainly give people pause. So I'm up for that, yeah. And
okay.
I hold this face.
I will study him for a minute.
Like a self-portrait.
Amon in to the hero doppel.
Okay. And are you guys off?
Cash, do you need any special ammunition that you need to get? Stop by the old ammo store.
No,
Anything?
I'm rocking some shredder rounds right now,
All
Fletcher
right, what
rounds
about
right
wall
now.
penetrating rounds? Since you can see through walls, what if I could buy you a bullet that could shoot through those?
Unfortunately, those don't go in this pistol.
They don't work. I so don't understand. See, I'm so used to the bullets being what
I know. Yeah,
shoot.
intangible.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Why I've got money to, why am I acting like I got to spend this money? You know, can't take it with you. Yeah, let's head out. Let's roll.
Okay. And with that,
Nope.
The door doesn't actually open out the front.
Yeah.
It would be
Okay.
off the map.
We're stuck.
We're stuck. With that, Amon, Cash, and Douglas walk out the front door and get into the armored van that Allison has pulled up to the front, and they depart for the docks. For our viewership, we will be taking a momentary break at 7:30, not now, so in 25-ish minutes. We'll be taking a break, but before we do so, we are going to actually go to Kairos.
Kairos.
It's Dad, Kairos. You're dead. You didn't make it.
You didn't make it, son.
Kairos.
You failed.
Unfortunate.
Kairos. You are suddenly aware that you are hovering in total darkness. No up or down, no left or right, suspended weightlessly in nothingness. You feel your left leg. It is heavy. So heavy, you feel it might pull itself out of its socket. It starts to drag you down, and you are now aware of what direction is down. The further you fall into the inky darkness, the colder it gets, until you feel like you are in a freezer. You realize now that your eyes are closed, and as you open them, you are met by blinding white light. Instinctively, you lift your hand to shield your eyes and allow them to adjust to the brightness. In time, you begin to make out the shadows of mountains on the far horizon. They are deep blue, like the color of deeply submerged ice. Soon you see where you are. In every direction, an expansive desert of white snow stretches out to the same deep blue mountains on every side. There is no wind here. The puffs of your frozen breath just linger suspended in the air with no breeze to move them. The silence is deafening. Nothing stirs, nothing moves. It presses in around you. Then, you see it. Right out in front of you, something is growing out of the snow. In a strange stop motion, like way a single sapling stem grows up and out of the snow. Leaves unfurling and forming into a bulb at the tip. Then the green fibers part open and crimson red tulip petals emerge. They grow and slightly unfurl into 7 full red petals, perfectly preserved and unharmed by the cold you feel in this place. What do you do?
I'm lying on the ground.
You're standing.
Standing, okay. If not, I would stand up. Waking up, still feeling the heavy leg, the weird cold, the strange amount of confusion in his head that he's not used to seeing, and what makes this more intense is the fact that I'm in not only due to the recent issue where I was stuck in my own mind in subspace, but now I'm in a whole nother plane, what would seem like a dream, but in my brain, I'm used to going into subspace. I'm used to diving, but this is different. This feels untethered. It's weird. I'm going to walk over to the flower and pick it. Smell it.
As you reach your hand down towards the flower, your fingers brush against the petals. Immediately, they begin to melt into the snow as if they were water. Steam rises from the snow where the liquid red spills, and slowly the red liquid swirls about to form a perfect hexagram in the snow as the rest of the tulip stem and leaves wilt into a black husk. Violet light and angular lines hidden beneath the snow begins to spread out in all directions like some digital landscape. Your leg again feels very heavy. And as you look down, you see your left leg is black from frostbite and frozen through like a brick. You begin to sink into the snow. Is there anything you're doing right now?
At this point, between the fighting, the leg, the level of panic building inside of me, and reviewing not only my situation, but the past few missions, past few experiences, I will take 5 very deep, slow breaths and just let it happen.
With each one, the snow fades, the light fades, and you are again surrounded in total darkness until your feet meet a surface below you with a thump. Boom. Ever so slightly, out in front of you in the darkness, you see a mundane wooden door with a little handle knob. What do you do?
I look around again, review my settings, and start to drag myself towards with this just titanic leg, as if an anvil is tied to myself. Start shuffling towards that door as best as I can.
You walk through the darkness towards that door, each step reverberating like deep thump, boom, and it just echoes as if this dark area around you is an impossibly large chamber. You arrive at the door.
I'll just go in. I'll open it. Attempt to open it.
You twist the handle and ease your weight into the door. It opens up and you immediately smell the scent of tiramisu. And you see that you have entered into a kitchen. There's light coming through the window, and you can see a burly character, 8 feet tall, over a stove top. And you know who this is. This is Zircon. And he looks over his shoulder to see you. Zircon.
Gyros. You hungry?
I'll take a plate.
Fantastic. Tiramisu with truffles.
That's a combination.
You'd be surprised. The umami really hits against the sweet.
I'm sure I will be surprised.
Puts the plates down on the table. He's like, how we doing?
Well, I'm pretty tired. It's been been a bit. You've been gone. You look refreshed. How are you doing?
God, I've just been cooking.
Sounds like a good time, honestly. How long have you been here?
A little while. About as long as it takes to make tiramisu. And ramen before that.
What brought you here?
Can I have you make an instinct check, Zircon?
Yeah. Zircon. His instincts are amazing, obviously.
Obviously, it's Zircon.
Yeah,
Expert
of course.
Of wisdom.
He did great in his instincts earlier.
4.
Yeah, Yeah, he's like, yeah, you've been here. Nothing more to it.
A door brought me here. Well, how else do you get into a room? What brought you here?
When he responds that way, my brain's the gears are churning, clicking, ticking. I'm thinking about where and why I'm seeing Zircon here, what connection this is.
Net diver check.
Yep.
Net diving.
I am the net diver. 19.
19. Naturally, this is all very strange.
I've accepted that.
From a net diving perspective, you think to yourself, could this be an engram? Could his consciousness have been downloaded?
So did we make it? How'd everything go with the last mission?
Well, I'm glad you remember. Yeah, no, you saved the day, bud.
Yep,
It was,
of course I did.
yeah.
But most importantly, the patient. Did we get the bullets out of her?
You mean Hush?
Yes.
Oh, Hush is still with us. We've made friends.
Awesome.
You'll be glad to know, too, Usi was able to bring you with us.
You have no recollection of this, Kairos. Zircon. It seems like a little bit of a funny idea, and the more you think about it, it just feels strange. You just feel like you hit against a non-existent memory.
Quick pause. We're in just a house, right? The surroundings. It's just
Yeah. Would you like to look around you?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna actually that was gonna be how I address Kairos or Zircon next. So.
Yeah. So it looks like a kitchen. To your left, there's another door.
Yep.
And straight ahead is the stovetop, the sink. There's a window, and you can see outside. It looks like some sort of countryside. To the right, also a window.
So
it's
not
quite
in a
cozy.
cyberpunk city.
Not in a cyberpunk city, no. Looks like some sort of like country cottage. Yeah. Can you make an awareness check for me?
Sure. Hold on. What's my awareness at? I am +1. Okay. 13.
13. Okay, continue.
I'm gonna take a small bite at tiramisu with the truffles, and then proceed
It's
to
delicious. It's absolutely everything you remember Zircon's tiramisu tasting like.
This tiramisu is great. I proceed to push off the truffles. So I take one more bite. And I'm like, Zircon, buddy, this is great. You want to show me around your place? This is nice. This is relaxing.
Oh yeah, this is where I've been.
I stand up expectantly to follow him.
Kairos, at this moment, you hear, ever so faintly, what sounds to be like a heartbeat, but below you. I'm hearing this sound, I'll start to look down, just to see it around me. You hear it down,
where my
and
feet
also
would be.
perhaps coming from the door on the left.
So as I get up, I'll just it's great. So this way first. Show me the place.
Oh, don't go to that door.
Well, I mean, give me the grand tour. I'd love to see your spot. I'm interested. Like,
oh, you're here. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, you're acting weird, pal.
Look,
and I noticed that you didn't even eat your mushroom.
well, so truffles, they just kind of they mess with my mouth. It's a little weird reaction. They taste delicious. It's wonderful, but
Well, I am a doctor, you know. If it's something clinical, I can help.
You got a place I can lay down? I'll have you give me an examination.
Right on the table. And he kind of like hits everything off. He's like, I've been meaning to look at your cybernetics anyway.
Well, how about not the kitchen table? You got another spot we could go? Couch, chair?
This is where I prefer to be.
Well, I know, but like you got to be comfortable for the
Can
patient.
I have you
right?
make a instinct check? Actually, why don't you go ahead, Kairos, and make a charisma check to try and convince Zircon to give you the
Oh
tour?
yeah, I'm super charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not horrible.
It's one way of saying it.
Well, 12.
12. You definitely get the sense that you're not going to budge him.
Mm-hmm.
And with your net diving check, you're pretty sure that if this is an engram, for some reason it's not leaving.
Yeah. So hey, Zircon,
I'll
you got a
look
bathroom
on the
buddy?
table. A bathroom?
Yeah, I gotta get cleaned up. I've been through just a hell of a.
You don't have
hell of a time.
cybernetics to handle that?
No, I'm not. I'm pretty.
Oh, the
stock
reactor
standard.
in me just kind of eats it all up. I don't even need to
know.
do that.
I know it was cool to watch. It was cool to see, but I got none of that. You know, I'm just a pretty stock standard human.
All the while, the heartbeat continues.
So I'm gonna.
Ever so slightly, it has felt a little bit more each time.
Hey,
So as
do you have any smokes on you?
you know, I just actually do, and I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna accidentally fumble it off to the opposite direction of the door, away from the door towards Zircon. I don't know where he's sitting in relation to the door that I want to go to.
Yeah.
Is you've got the table. You're on one side. He's on the other, facing the stove. The door's to your left. You accidentally drop it off to the right, kind of across the table, so he would have to turn that way.
Fumble down off the, hopefully off, so he has to bend down to the opposite direction of the door.
Yep.
So I will do that. Is Zircon going to pursue it and do that and try to pick them up?
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
He did say he thought you were acting weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know Kairos to be particularly.
No, it would
am
be
I-
a smooth, like, oh, here, and then I'll drop it as I'm trying to release it to you off to the side. It won't be
Perfect.
a goofy fumble.
Kairos, can you make a guile check, and
Yeah.
then Zircon, can you make an intuition check? Don't worry, you're both terrible at this. So let's see how the rollies go.
I'll
Battle
have
of
you know,
smoke
I have a
victims.
+1 to intuition.
So I have +1 as well. Let's go.
9.
Ooh. You lose, buddy. 15.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Ooh.
Wow.
Double sixes, baby.
Okay. It seems natural. It seems like
Perfect.
he just accidentally fumbled and it just rolled a little bit too far
Yeah.
off the table.
I'm stoked. I'm like, ooh, yeah.
As he goes
So-
to pick them up, I bolt to the door.
All right, you swing open the door to find a kind of like those old school rickety wooden stairways going down into a basement, no back behind the stair, you know? And it's very dark down into the basement.
I close the door.
Are
and
you
go.
going down?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't want him to.
And as you
catch
go
up.
down-
Say something as he goes.
Yes.
I was gonna be like, oh no, I wouldn't recommend it. Ah.
And you go running down the stairs, and you know, typically these sort of basements, you expect that, you know, it's just like maybe 13, 15 stairs or whatever. But then it kind of hits the concrete wall, and then the stairwell bends and continues going down into this dark cellar, into what seems like, at this point, as you kind of go, you bend, and you bend again, and you bend again, going down flights of stairs. All the while, the heartbeat growing louder and louder. And then your feet land on concrete, but it's too dark to see anything. What do you do?
Instinctually, when hitting the floor with no visibility, I'll try to access my cyber oculus.
Yes. What are you doing with cyber oculus?
Night vision. Let's light up the night.
You have the multi-retinal?
I do.
All right. Okay. You turn on night vision. And you see that there's a kind of like basement floor. There's boxes and crates and stuff, just like in a normal basement. But then out in front of you, you suddenly see there is a round pit in the center of the basement. And for the briefest moment, again, you see translucent, angular lines kind of shoot out across everything, mapping around it as if submersion architecture, and then it's gone.
The pit's still present?
Yes. Circular pit in the center of the basement is still present.
I'm going to walk over to the very edge, stand at its precipice, and I'm going to kneel down and take a seat quietly and start to think about what I'm looking at, what I've seen. Do I hear Zircon pursuing? Does he come down with me?
Nothing. It's dead
Silent.
quiet outside of that heartbeat, which at this point is rather resounding.
If I look behind myself, do I still see the stairs?
Yes, you can still see very faintly the stairs.
Okay.
There's some boxes in the way, a little bicycle.
As I got closer to the pit, did the noise increase in volume?
Yes, the heartbeat gets louder.
How deep is the pit? Can I just like kind of scoot forward and slide
Yeah.
down and stand up?
You look down. I assume you want to look down at first, or you
Obviously,
just want to go right
yeah. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Huh,
You look
random.
down, and it looks quite far. It looks quite steep, like cement walls, just smooth cement all the way down. And at the bottom, you see a glow. It's quite blinding with your night vision. But something is generating light down there, and you see just in the night vision with kind of like that blur from the light, you can see out like edges of dark something. So there's some sort of object down there, and it is moving.
Cautiously, I will switch out of night vision because there's obviously enough light, but I will cautiously start to slide down towards the object, trying to be as aware of my surroundings as I can.
You start going down the hole. At first, it's gradual and then gets steeper and steeper, and you begin to slide down. And right when you feel like you're about to fall, you arrive at the ground, and the ground, though concrete, is glowing, and out in front of you is a purplish heart, but it is like the size of you, and it is beating, and every pulse you see digital lines growing out of it. I need you to make an instinct check. I mean intuition.
14.
14. This heart immediately makes you think of the figure you met in Substation 9 while in submersion space. The AI.
It's a feeling that I'm getting, like a similar.
Yeah, this is a feeling.
Signal.
This is your intuition.
I'm going to slowly walk around it, contemplating what it is, how it's functioning, the size of it, why I'm in this fever dream right now. And as I'm walking around, I'm going to think to myself, have I in some way touched plunge space? Can I roll to find more information about that? Is there anything I can do to see or know? Because I have spent almost no time in there. I think I attempted once, immediately left. My knowledge
Net
and
diving
understanding
check.
of this is limited. So, chuck the dice. Come here. Come on. Ugh, not so great. 15? Wait, no.
15.
16. Sorry. I
16.
misadded.
You are not sure. But as you kind of like focus, trying to figure out how could I know if I'm in plunge space, you begin sort of checking in with your own physiology. And for a split moment, you feel a very sharp pain in your left leg. And as you jolt your head down, like it almost feels like something stares you, and you realize you're standing, and though you're standing like you're on two legs, you have no left leg. And you blink, and then your left leg is there again. But you do realize that you are sweating. Now, this isn't per se an indication that you're in plunge space, but certainly plunge space revs your metabolism to unprecedented levels, and sweating and overheating would be a very common thing.
The old heart rate has risen. With that unsettling blip, thinking to myself the absolute strange that has existed in the last few months working together with this team. My last resort before touching, interacting, or trying to figure out more about this heart is I'm going to try and bring my Digidama to my side, the AI that I have to some degree befriended because of a level of consciousness that it retains.
The whole world shakes. And the walls kind of tremor, like kind of dust falling from the walls all around, kind of up above you, and like the concrete kind of bulges and whatever. And then breaking from the concrete, not far from you, emerges the fire dragon. And we'll pause there. Why don't we take a 5-minute break, everybody? Resume at 7:40. Does that work?
All right.
Perfect.
That works perfect.
Just give everybody a chance. So stay tuned. We will be back at 7:40.
Beautiful, beautiful. back, folks. We will be transitioning into the main screen again. Haha!
All right, and so we pick up. The fire dragon has just emerged from the concrete quite violently, and unravels out in front of you. Except you notice it is like 10 times larger than it has ever been, than like a little Digidama size. It's big. And it kind of ravels up in front of you and just kind of stares down at you.
Scale yourself, please, so we can have this conversation a little more amicably.
It kind of cocks its head at you. Am I not the correct size?
Well, considering I'm down here.
It just kind of tilts its head confused.
Let's have a face-to-face conversation.
It reduces its size and comes in front of you.
I appreciate it. Just makes it easier for my limited human mind to have a one-on-one conversation with not a giant. It helps. Keep that in mind for future conversations if you ever come across another net diver. So I saw you burst through the floor, through the concrete. I guess the better statement is, from your perspective, where am I?
Concrete.
The floor.
It looks around. I don't quite understand what you're talking about.
When I called you, you had to break in, it seemed. It looked as if you had to remove a solid object in order to join me.
Perhaps your feverish human mind is having issues comprehending.
Feverish? I know something's wrong. I don't know what that is. Do you?
Quite. You're down. One of your appendages. You don't recall?
I recall the fight, and it stopped after, I assume, I got hit.
It looks over at the heart. Interesting time to plunge. Looks back at you.
So to help you learn. Well, no, I appreciate that statement. That gives me a better idea where I am right now. Can you, in the simple human terms you've learned so far, describe what we're looking at here? This human heart beating with digital code coming out of it?
It's advanced. Kind of tilts its head. I share some amount of code with it. I think perhaps a seed of the greater AI consciousness. It's embedded somehow into the prescient mapping algorithm. Adapting.
It's, so a portion of it is from the AI encounter that spawned you. Our previous partner, is there another consciousness or presence within it?
Within this? No. Kind of looks around. I do sense an engram.
Mm-hmm. Can you... Is it all around us? Is there a direction, a path that you can see that leads me to that engram's location? Or are we via plunging somehow inside of it?
The algorithm doesn't quite work directionality-wise, but I will take a note of its current predictions to see if you can't find your way back.
I appreciate it. With this, I'm gonna square up with the heart. I'll just slowly place my hand on it.
Before you reach your hand, the fire dragon says, Iros, your vitals are spiking. I suggest you get out.
I don't know what brought me here. I don't know how to get out other than to retrace my steps physically, but that's not how this works. Is there any way you can
see.
assist?
It looks like the anesthesia is keeping you locked. I can pull you out. I don't think you're going to enjoy it.
Based on what I think is happening, there's no scenario I'm going to enjoy, but I'd rather not die of a heart attack. So go ahead.
It plunges into the concrete again. And you feel all of the simulation start to break.
Yeah.
And the concrete starts to collapse, and you start to see the prescient mapping algorithm all around you. It's not, I mean, it's not even something that you visually sense. It is a very complex thing. But you sense the algorithm moving through, filtering through your brain. As the anesthesia is forcefully removed from your system, and you start feeling a ungodly pain in your left hip area, and you wake, screaming horrifically as the last traces of anesthesia leave your body, and you realize, and you're clutched down to grab onto metal of your left leg. And that's where we'll end there. Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have anything to say?
They installed the leg already?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I was that I had missed. All right. Oh, before we go. There you go.
A nice primal scream.
Yeah.
All right. All right. In the van, you guys have made your way over to the dock. You've been idling the docks. Large, just very long stretch of dock works. All of these have long been abandoned. It does not seem like the spree is used for any sort of shipping, or at least legal shipping apparatus any longer. All of these freight liners are just parked in to max capacity along the docks. They are all derelict. Slum homes, and some are half sunken. Others are pulled out and turned into living facilities. This is like very depressed area, very deep slums of Berlin. You have a visual on the Dauntless. It's several hundred yards away, past several different freighters. No, not close enough to see any sort of movement or anything like that on the freight liner. But you've gotten here. This is where Allison has parked, just kind of waiting for your guys' signal on the next motion. And so an hour has passed. It is now roughly an hour-ish until we'll say like an hour and 15 until Talos Judicial shows up. What was that?
Just wanted. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just said okay.
Oh, okay.
Like
To clarify, with the active sheath lenses and all that, would I be able to see movement with those?
You can zoom, like the 10 times vision helps. But again, like the entire top of the Dauntless is full of like shipping containers.
Right.
And even with like trying to adjust and whatever, every once in a while you detect maybe the slightest trace of movement, but you have no idea. It could be an animal, it could be
no worries. Cool.
There is a ramp most of these docked ships, if not a makeshift ramp, the Dauntless actually has a normal ramp system built in leading up to its top deck. Your phone rings, however, and it is the professor's name. Remind me.
Oh, Doctor. I've only used her once. Dr. Wirtz.
Dr. Wirtz is calling.
Yep.
Good evening, Cash.
Good evening.
Oh, I should also note, it is also raining pretty heavily at this point. And it is almost dark out.
That's what I like.
All right. I've been able to reach out to a couple of smugglers in the area. They said that they can make themselves useful. They are used to shipping operations. This is usually how much of the German smuggling market gets in contraband goods, if not by road, then by ships that are believed to be derelict. They said they can provide a small dinghy. They also said that many of these ships have secret entrances or maintenance entrances in the hull in case you want to access lower levels more quickly. If you give me your coordinates, I can have the two smugglers meet you. They can describe things. They have no interest in partaking in the mission, naturally. But they can tell you what you need to look for and provide the dinghy, and are okay with you utilizing their smuggler identification for the time.
Perfect. So just a quick, just to make sure I'm on the level, upfront contract. These guys are all right with us using their identity as smugglers, and then we're gonna have access to the secret entrance via dinghy, maybe, for exfil, infill.
If the Dauntless has a maintenance shaft that
hope
can
so.
be accessed in that way, then yes.
All right. You have come through, and I got 12 premium kites coming for your kid.
Thank you kindly. Good luck, Ash. Hangs up.
We're in business.
Yeah.
You heard that. Speakerphone.
You know what? Technology's come a long way, but speakerphone is pretty great. Speakerphone is something that I could see myself walking around a store with, just sort of yelling every one of my
that's
conversations.
the worst. I do not recommend that.
Really? That seems
You're
like
using it
what I
all
would
wrong.
love to do.
It's only for private situations like this. Me and you know? Okay. It's our little
As you guys
secret.
are talking, this pretty beat up, slummy car slowly makes its way towards you guys and flashes its headlights a couple of times at the van.
That's the international
Allison looks
signal.
back. Allison looks back and she's like, "You know these guys? Or is this trouble?"
I think I know these guys. I mean, that's the international signal, right? The smugglers, right? You flash the light. You know better than me.
I've never smuggled anything.
Should I flash the lights? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, give them
Alright.
some flashes back.
Give
She
them one,
flashes
too.
the lights. The car slowly, it goes behind another crate, and then some time passes, and then emerges behind another crate that's much closer to you on the docking yard, and then kind of pulls up steadily in front of you guys. And then this sort of sleazy guy in a trench coat gets out. He's got like a mustache, a big like walrus mustache.
The flasher,
And,
kill him.
He kind of walks over and raps on the window.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the future, but we have everything
This
is analog
just
with
the
cash,
most
apparently.
dumpster Civic that you found in a crate. It's great.
So sorry. Yeah, we roll down the window.
You Cash.
That would be me.
All right. Yeah. Well, the doc got a hold of us. Professor, whatever. Anyways, we got a dinghy. He kind of points over his shoulder. It's over there in the water. Don't suggest getting in the water, though. You get a rash. This thing's so filthy.
Yeah, no way. Gross.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, it's all yours. You you're looking for a maintenance hatch. If you're trying to get into lower level, you're trying to get an upper level, just go up one of them ramps, right? Most of the gangers around here, it's mostly gangers. They know us. At least know our names fairly well. You say you're with us. They'll do business with you if that's what you're looking to do. I don't care what you're looking to do. I'm not here to ask any questions. All right. The dinghy, though, yours, maintenance hatch. How do I explain it? Oh, here. He pulls up in the overlay a couple of images. Here's what you're looking for. Oftentimes they're disguised, blending in with the paint. Some of the paint's worn off. Just look for these sort of lines. You might need a tool. I don't know if you guys got tools. We don't got tools.
I got
you, but
I got a, Omni, I got the hands,
oh yeah, the Swiss fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. That's all you need. Anyways, you should be able to open up the thing, unless they've welded it closed. Then it might take you some time. But if it's open, should be able to get in fairly easy. Should take you into a little maintenance hatch. Get you into most of these ships. A lot of them built the same.
Okay.
Digging is easier to control.
Perfect. I got a dinghy guy right here. This is my dinghy guy.
They call me Mr. Dinghy. Let's get
true.
dinghy with it.
Yep.
Well, that's
He's a
weird.
champion.
Okay, anyways.
That's the first
Good
line
luck.
of your book.
Thank you.
And
Hey,
you,
you don't by chance have some boxes or bullshit that we can throw in this dinghy, just smuggling stuff.
kind of points around that you're in a shipping yard and there's just crates and shit all over the place.
Who's gonna
I
move
think you
these?
can figure it out.
Oh my god. Okay.
And he walks back to the car.
I dread as I stare at my hands.
Before he jumps in, he tosses you a pair of keys. It's old dinghy. Doesn't use Omni-Tech, okay? Keep under the radar that way. You need to use the keys.
How many people can fit on this dinghy comfortably?
I don't know, 4 or 5?
All right. Got it. Thank you.
Sweet.
Maybe more. I mean, if you're gonna load it up with crates, though, it might be less.
Yeah, the crates aren't happening at this point. Thank you. No way I'm touching those.
Cool. All right. Yeah. He goes into the car. They drive off. Yeah.
He's trying so hard to end this conversation. Like, please stop talking to me.
He's
Yeah,
looking
I
at him,
don't want to know.
shoulders up and the noise, da-da-da-da-da-da, and he leaves.
Ash is a big
God,
fan
man.
of the old Midwest goodbye.
Right.
It's gonna take days for him
3
to
days
get out
on
of
the
there.
porch.
All right, let's ding it up. I am going to share my location throughout this mission with a 1 Asherah toll. And I'll shoot her a little message. I'll be like, just in case something happens, this is where I'm at. If you were the Conclave ever wants a rough idea of where, I know his name, of course. His name is in my notes. His name Vandenberg. If you want to know where he's at, just so you know, this is what I'm doing. No need to respond. I love you. Bye. And I share my location.
Perfect.
So we got everything we need. We're a little ahead of schedule. I want us to be there with minutes to execute our end, and then Talos comes in. I don't want to be there an hour before Talos comes in, and then we're fucked because we're all alone.
No,
I
I'm
also
with
don't
you.
want to be there right at the where we're going in as Talos is there, because then that increases the chances that we meet up, and that's bad.
It's a delicate dance we're gonna be doing here. I'm with you. Let's. Can your specialize see through ships? And maybe we can get an idea.
I might be able to
we can
see
get close
through.
to the Dauntless, and maybe we can scope out a little bit. But we're gonna look. I kind of pull my hood up, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a vagrant, and I'm here to ship stuff."
Vagrants don't say vagrant, just to let you know.
Right, I'm a smuggler. Oh, that's probably
just
gonna
don't
give it
say
away too.
anything. How about that?
Okay, yeah. Well,
Okay, that's the best.
I am. So let's smuggle.
That's what I like right there.
All right.
Hey,
Dougie.
Allison, do you know how to drive a dinghy?
Fuck
Too
you.
close. Okay, yeah, sorry. Too close. Yeah,
She's so
I'm just
dainty.
joking.
Douglas looks at you and he's like, I could probably figure it out.
Fantastic, Dougie.
Dougie, you are pushing for a really great raise after this.
If Dougie
Allison,
dies, you guys are
just
screwed. You
say-
can't get back.
Let my commander know that, okay, guys?
No, yeah, I'll say it
I am-
louder in front of
Hey,
your
guys.
I'm gonna
boss.
send
Sure.
a text message to Amon's internal EMS that
Yeah.
says
Yeah.
Dougie's definitely dying here. Like,
Oh, I'm really sad about that. I audibly go, oh, which
Just a
is
little
auspicious
LOL.
for Dougie.
I hope
Alright,
he does.
I'm gonna go start the dinghy. And
Yeah,
Douglas
right.
jumps out and heads over to the dinghy.
Really appreciate the beautiful sea that you can appreciate these moments, Dougie. Allison, thank you. Please be safe. And I hope you have a very nice little.
Gonna be on deck to get us the fuck out of here. I'm probably gonna call you like I normally do, panicked in a jam.
And I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say
just,
thank you.
Just let me
Anyway.
know. Let me know if I need to be at the ramp. Stay here. Pick you guys up somewhere else, okay?
We'll call you as we are en route to leave.
Thank you, Allison.
If you're about to die, let me know too, so I can just leave.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
Cool.
I don't have any.
Great.
I'm dressed way too nice for this. Ugh,
Now
it's
I feel
fine.
underdressed.
It's fine.
All right.
Look,
We'll
the real
I'll
question
head to the
is
dinghy with Doug. I'm gonna talk up Doug. I wanna get to know him.
the real question is, do you have the tactical turtleneck, the tactile neck on?
Allison, did you bring my tactical turtleneck?
Allison, I am in the woods here without this turtleneck.
Can't do
All
wet
right.
work without a turtleneck on.
Next contact for Cash will be a tailor, like an international tailor
Ooh,
guy who
I
can ship
would-
him like the
listen.
clothes he needs.
Come on. He
I
wants
actually
to
have a
know.
guy. Cousin. He can do
He
anything.
does textiles.
You give that
Textiles, right?
that guy
get that
money.
he's actually my cousin.
I know.
I
I'm
know
just
this
saying.
guy.
Utilize him.
He's a real piece of shit.
Oh man, you've got differing opinions on people that I love. Let's go to. I'm in the dinghy. Doug,
Okay.
any next of kin?
Huh?
Nah, never mind.
Okay. All right, so you guys are at the dinghy. It's probably 5 minutes through the water, low motor to get over to the Dauntless. You're not very far from it, right? It's just navigating kind of discreetly around some of these freight liners. What sort of time frame? So this is execution, right? So what sort of time frame do you want to be pulling up along the sides, searching for entrance? And you can do it based on how many minutes before Talos.
Yeah, that's my time frame for sure.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how long it's gonna take us to get into this ship.
Right.
As we approach the Dauntless, can you see inside of it and see if there's anybody immediately by the little hatch? Because we
need
could
to
give
locate
a
the
little
little
time.
hatch first.
You're right.
Maybe we could do a cruise by, like we're going to a different location first. Right.
Sold.
And that'll be
Alright.
where we look, and then we determine the speed at which we attempt to
Smart. I've got.
You slowly
a-
start
yeah.
trilling past the sorry, dropped a dice. Slowly start trilling past the boats. Rain is just pouring down, right? It's just you guys are wet. Thunder in the sky. It's pretty dark here. There's not a lot of lights. And you come up to the Dauntless's hull. Cash switches over his retinal array to MMW to look through the hull, and you realize that with these freight liners, they have multiple layers. So you stare through the first level of the hull, but then you have all the internal infrastructure, and there's other levels of hull after that. So it really is
Right.
not very useful for actually seeing through this ship.
Can I determine a seam with the MMW active? Like if they're using it like a break in the hull with MMW?
Yes. About midway down, you do notice that there is an area that looks more like a passageway, utility passageway. It sits right above the water. And as you kind of pull up to that area, Connor, you notice kind of some of the faint lines around some painting that seems like something the smuggler was talking about.
Okay. All right.
Can we tell
I
if
think
it's
we
welded
found-
shut?
What's that?
Can we tell if it's welded shut?
Go ahead and make a machining check.
Okay. Five.
5. Looks alright.
Perfect.
Oh, cool. All right.
Looks like it's good.
Yeah. Oh, great. I mean, how long do you think we should do you think like
well-
20 minutes is enough time for us?
Well, how long has it taken us to do our pass by?
Good question.
The pass by, with you guys like going slow, taking your time, looking over the details, kind of analyzing the hatch area. It took about 15 minutes.
I'm honestly feeling like this is like we need to do get in, get out, right? Like 10 minutes until Talos gets there,
Okay.
right? We're coming
Alright.
on the back. We're coming to the back hatch of
Yeah.
this place to go inside.
I mean, just
10
remember,
minutes
I am not
before Talos
swift.
arrives.
But we can give it a shot. 10
Well-
minutes? Why don't we split the difference? Let's do 15.
Okay.
We
I
can
like
do 10. We can do 10. We can do 10. We can do 10. I'm feeling super confident about 10.
You're a terrible negotiator. You just
I know.
immediately eroded your foundation. Okay.
Tell me, I folded immediately. I agree.
You really did.
Yeah. Well, we can learn something from each other, I guess.
Yeah, of course we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Alright.
right.
So 10 minutes.
So 10.
Alright. Time goes by. Dougie finds an area under an overhang where you guys aren't just like drenched in the rain by a nearby boat, ready to move when you guys are ready to move. The time passes. And it is now about 12 minutes before Talos, about 15 minutes before Talos Judicial arrives. Ding, your phone has a text message.
I don't carry a phone, Cash.
Who's that?
That's got to be yours.
It's Henry. Hey, Cash. Just heard. Talos is 10 minutes ahead of schedule.
Oh, great. All right, let's
All
go.
right, looks like we got about 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
so,
Sounds good. Let's go in. I'm gonna roll stealth, which is silly to do on a ship, but I'm rolling it early
All
because I
right,
want to
good.
make it aware that we're rolling
Stealthing in.
stealth. All right.
I am
we've
going
got
to take on the guise of Jeff
15.
before we get close.
Sounds good.
I'm
15.
going in
Okay.
here as Jeff.
As you guys near the hull, first thing, Connor.
Yes.
The heartbeat of Kodra is desperate at this moment.
Okay.
Second, I need both of you to make a willpower check.
All right, willpower. Here I come.
Nice. Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 total.
Perfect.
– 18.
18. All right, perfect. You both come up to the main hatch. It has taken about 3 minutes to get here.
All right, let's open it up.
To the old
Swiss fingers.
smuggler's knock,
Fingers.
whatever it takes. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you need the tool. That's right.
right.
I got the
Okay.
yeah.
Go
was
ahead and
Brandon
make a
forgetting.
machining check.
Yeah. Oh, machining. Hey. So That's a 9, and I'll use some edge dice.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me get some, we can call it 2d4. I'll use 2 of them. Hey-oh, that's a 4. And that's a 2. 6.
So 15?
15.
All right. He gets to work on opening up the hatch. You were correct. It is not welded. However, there are some pretty significant bolts you have to undo. And you start working as fast as you can to get this hatch unbolted.
Quick question.
And as you're... Yeah.
So sorry. Would it be quicker for me to laser the bolts off? Or are they made of durable stuff?
That's a part of your machining check that you're doing. You're
cool.
using the most expedited version possible.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Sorry.
Going through this. We can say it's a combination. So, eye where you need it, and then tools where else you need it. And
Hey.
you're going through this.
My brand.
What's up? Oh.
Sorry.
You're going through this, opening up the hatch. Connor, you are aware that clock is 10, 9, and you guys hear a siren, and then a sonic boom, and a flash of something across the sky, and then a split second, like a falling star, meteorites into the top hull of the ship.
Fuck
Boom!
yeah.
And you see like a whole crate thing falls over, and immediately you hear like an double automatic shotguns go off, like boom, 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 boom. And then you suddenly hear like gangers yelling up on top, one person like screaming bloody murder as Cash unhinges the hatch into the shipping.
Perfect timing. Cash money, baby. We got our distraction.
Let's go. Oh my god, I'm terrified. This is horrible. Oh my god.
Dougie, be ready to get on this fucking dinghy and get us the fuck out of here.
Be ready, Dougie.
So are you telling Dougie to stay, or are
Nope,
you...
not telling him to stay. I'm just
okay.
telling him to be ready to drop whatever he's doing and get us the fuck out of here.
Perfect. Let me set up
Primary
the
objective
scene
in
here.
Oh my god. I want to play as Talos Judicial, frankly. They sound really cool.
I didn't realize they had some ODST type shit popping up.
Yeah, they got some really cool stuff.
Which I love.
They are killing it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then let's transition. You guys come up through an underground hatch into what looks like a storage room. You all see this all right?
Yep.
So the floor panel lifts up and shifts aside. You see a pretty advanced computer system set up here on your right. It looks like it was surveillance, but there's nobody here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going right over to it. I want to see if there's eyes on the people we're looking for with any of this surveillance.
There is a code to get into the main system.
It's obviously 69420.
Is that what you're typing in?
No.
If you'd like to make a hacking check, you can.
0.
I would like to make a hacking check. That's my next move. But it's actually
Hack
just
away.
me guessing 69420. That is the most I could possibly get. Wait, let me make sure I don't have any bonuses to hacking. I don't. 12.
12.
Nice.
Is that what you're going with? Any edge dice?
Legit. I'll do 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Plus 3. 15.
15. You actually hack it.
It is 69420.
I was right.
you open it up. The only thing you see. Let me get it out here. 1 second. As far as video feeds go, where did I put that targeting radical? I need to make sure I keep track of what folder I put that in.
Because I'll be activating MMW as we go through too.
Yeah, I should have had it ready.
That's how I'm gonna try to keep us safe. Amen, baby.
All right, I like it.
Wasn't in the random? Sorry, everyone, for the pause. Oh, here it is. Can you all see that?
I can.
I cannot. Oh, now I can. If you unselect
Yes.
a character, you can. Yeah.
So you're seeing through these cameras that are in the hallway, what seems to be on the other side of the door.
Right.
Okay,
Are there
well,
any
at
other
least we
cameras
know.
hooked up that
There
I
are
can
no
click
other
through?
cameras, however, the door controls, and it looks like the doors to this room are locked, but you have access to them. You also notice a folder of correspondence labeled Teth 0.
Download those.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely gonna download those.
Perfect.
Is this door right here that like
I don't
the
have a
door we came
USB-C.
in?
No,
Or
you
is the-
came
do we
in
just-
through
we
the
just came through
hatch,
the
like
wall?
literally
Okay.
underneath
Okay,
you.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
okay.
the floor panel lifted up and shifted aside.
Are the doors labeled? Like, you know,
Yeah, there's like a door to the hall, and then it says a door to the bunk room.
okay, I'm going to just
There's
unlock.
also
Yeah,
a
unlock
door
the
to
bunk.
storage down the hallway.
Okay, Amon, do we want to go to storage? The bunker? Is that what you said?
Bunk room. I'm going to guess where beds are.
Bunker, got it.
Let's try storage. If you could open up this door. I'm also going to well, I was gonna. I guess we're not in combat yet, so I'm gonna wait.
I will open the door to storage first.
It unlocks.
I don't want to just open everything, right? Because then anybody can come from
No,
anywhere.
I think you're smart. I think you're smart. Yeah, open the door to storage.
Okay, which one is that?
Well, the door out to the hallway, right? And then the door
Yeah.
to storage.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Those are
sorry.
both open now. You can
All
open.
right,
I mean,
perfect.
the doors themselves won't open. Like you have to manually. It's just the locks.
Sure. So,
Alright. And I do. Do I keep my stealth roll that I did earlier? You want me to make?
Yeah,
it a stealth roll?
You're fine with
Okay,
that.
sweet.
I will move stealthily out of this room as we move forward.
Okay. You turning on MMW? Did you say?
Yes, sir.
So then, Amon Vex.
All right. Dougie, lead the way.
Oops, didn't lock the door. There we go.
I have an
Hands
18
on
for
out. Or he
stealth,
kinda,
by
like,
the way.
Bucks out with his assault rifle. Kind of looks around. Coast is clear.
All right.
Moving to the right.
Yep. Toward the room labeled storage. I don't know if they
So,
thought
how
to
do I
write it
see
on the
my
door, though.
guy
He like
again?
lifts up his hands. What's that?
I'm so sorry.
You
How do I
just
see my guy?
deselect.
Clear
Just,
your
just
selection.
left click drag,
Marquee select.
and it will show everything that you can see.
Okay.
Then you should be able to select him and move him. Do you see him?
Interesting. No, it's like locked. It's not doing it how it normally does it.
Oh.
Like I'm locked on the.
Try refreshing.
Yeah, do that.
Could just be the system is a little buggy.
It is the system. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. No, it happens. Server side issue.
Okay.
He like kind of holds up quiet. He kind of motions to indicate you want him to check through this door.
It's that one. Is that one locked?
No.
This is the storage door.
Oh yeah. Then please, Douglas.
Okay.
I mean,
He quietly goes in and he pockets his assault rifle and pulls out the katana.
Okay. I will,
It appears to be a bathroom.
Okay.
And then where are you looking with the MMW?
I am. As soon as we kind of like get in the doorway, I'm gonna peep the stalls, if if it's a bathroom.
Okay. As you go along,
Yeah.
there's a ganger on the toilet.
We're like,
He says Roger in his MMW, walks over, shoves the katana through the stall door, and you're like, "Hua!"
Oh yeah, all right.
And then
Sweet.
pulls it out, and then the body thuds to the ground.
just
We
like,
really should have had him on Smiles.
He gives a thumbs up.
of- He has already done more. All right.
Oh, sorry,
I
let
will.
me
Very good.
move it out of the stalls.
perfect.
I will go back out in the hallway. Oop, my collides.
Same.
There we go. All right, next door. I'll be real quiet.
You see, all of a sudden, Dougie is like looking over his shoulder. It's like he's like scratching his head, and he seems like discombobulated.
Oh no, what's going on here?
Dougie, you okay? Can I? I don't. Okay. So I'm interested. I just inhaled the hair that fell off of my head, and it felt terrible. Can I?
Oh, they're targeting radicals up there.
Can I like read Dougie's mind? Dougie, you all right? I know this guy's a telepath. I'm very worried.
Go ahead and make a. I think it's edge dice to read, right?
I
think so.
You may spend one edge dice. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and spend an edge dice.
Did it?
He is talking. It is very strange, Connor. He is responding to something said in a memory, but he's responding as if it's being said in the present. I need you guys to make a psionics check, willpower check.
Okay. Responding to something said in a memory.
This is nice. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18.
16.
Thank you.
Um,
Amon Vecht, Cash, what
yes.
are you guys doing? It seems like Dougie is quite distracted at the moment.
I'm gonna go.
Can you help him?
He's responding to memories. I can try. I don't even know what this would be.
His emotions are confusion,
Okay.
fear,
Would I?
there's like a fear, but there's also like a calm.
Okay. I'm going to use Weaver
Okay.
to weave into him my thoughts. Like,
Okay.
Dougie, stick with me. Whatever it is, you're okay. Be in this present moment. And I'm also going to, as Weaver, I am going to instill a new emotional state in the target.
Okay.
As an attempt to like refocus him at like an emotional state of like awareness or whatever, like presence.
Can you make a psionics check?
Yes. So I think it says psionic versus insight
You guys are gonna explode
Yep.
this guy's mind.
with a bonus of my psionic resonator. So 10, 15, 16. Hold on. 17, 18.
Actually, why don't you
19,
hold off
20,
on that
21.
bonus?
Okay.
Don't calculate the bonus.
Okay.
What did you roll?
Not my psionics bonus, and because I technically if it's
No,
psionic.
psionics bonus, not the Weaver bonus.
Okay, so that would be 21 then total with the
21.
psionics bonus,
Okay.
not without the Weaver.
You weave in that emotion, and it supersedes another emotion that has been weaved into him. And you realize that you're not the only presence in his mind at this moment. Okay. This is EMS. Thank you,
Yep.
Imam Fact. I have memories of a guy in a trench coat, shades, just right here. But he's not there. He was talking to me.
It sounds like a person that I've seen before. In your head, I need you to remember this. TJ's already here. He does not want to get found out. You just keep that mantra in there.
You guys hear an explosion up top when the whole hall shudders.
Go.
He's like, right. The person is saying, through this door, if we don't engage, he won't resist. If we let him go.
Okay, so while he was doing that, I was gonna ask to have the MMW moved into the room.
I would like to
We
reach
move
out.
the MMW through the room, and
I would
you
have probably
see
picked that up pretty quick.
you see a Queen Octavia is all of them are bound in seats. Queen Octavia is somewhat conscious. All three of them have blood from basically every orifice on their faces, from ears, nose, eyes, mouth. Queen Octavia seems the best. Kodra is hardly breathing, slumped, pretty desperate, and Corsair is clearly dead.
Okay.
And you see across the room stands the figure that had entered into their prince, with the shades on, and he slowly kind of makes his way subtly behind the crates.
All right, I turn. Do you describe that at all, Cash?
Yeah, so you would be busy linking minds and doing that.
Before you did that, I'm going to reach out with my mind, which I imagine should be easy, to link with him.
Yes, it is willing to link.
All right, I link to talk. My intention that's flowing over there is to speak. All I'm going to say is this. If you let me keep these two that are alive, I will let you go free. Not a word to anybody, and I will keep that word.
You get a sense that there is a memory wanting to be woven into your mind. You let it. This would be an alteration of your memory.
I will allow it. I will allow
5
it.
seconds ago, you were talking to him in this hall. He was standing right behind you, Amon Vect. And he said to you, if you let me go, they're yours. I've served my portion of the contract.
Deal. I will move to open the door.
What the hell are you doing?
All right, you open up the door.
We can facilitate this guy's departure.
Queen Octavia wearily looks up to you. She's clearly out of it. And this guy just comes walking out very casually. Foreboding.
What the fuck?
Amon? He lifts up his sword and aims it at the guy.
You're okay. We're good.
Okay,
We're
he
letting him
lowers
go.
it.
I mean, we're good.
Our mission is to get them out, not to capture him. I will kind of make way for him.
Hesitantly starts stepping. Are you
have
doing
an
anything,
exit plan,
Cash?
pal. We can help you get out. You want to ride out with us?
I think he's got this. But I will offer if he does want help on the ride out.
Another memory is trying to be written into your head.
We got a
Okay,
whole
yeah,
trip
I
to
will
get
allow
out of
it.
here, bud.
Okay, just a second ago, he was standing again right next to you, except he wasn't really, but
Yeah,
you remember
yep.
him standing right next
Yep.
to you, and he says, I'll be fine.
All right.
No, hey, man.
trust me.
Cash is just gonna be kind of like dumbfounded. Like...
Grab Octavia, and then I will grab.
Okay.
Who's the other one who's alive? No, I
Kodra?
forget. Kodra. I will grab Kodra.
Douglas. Can you grab Octavia?
Douglas grabs Octavia.
Thanks.
I will grab Kodra, and I will, as quickly as I can, make it towards the exit.
You guys hear metal doors up above blast open. And as you guys make your way back to the storage room, you hear heavy footsteps rushing down the stairs. And right as you enter into the room, Josh, can you show the picture of the TJ?
Also, I would have taken the dead body of the other person.
Tetsuo.
Okay. Yeah, the three of you can. No, it's of Corsair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Corsair.
sorry. That's right.
Cat got burned to a crisp, I think.
That's right. Tetsuo is
Now in the center of the stream.
Oh, hold on.
So that's what sort of the TJ officer looks like. Except this TJ officer coming down, both of his arms appear to be cybernetic, and both have automatic shotguns popped out of the wrists, and in his hands he's also holding these like crazy looking like dual wielding laser katanas with shotguns. Then as he comes down, he sees you guys for a split second, and then this doorway to the kitchen opens up to a ganger, and he immediately like rotates like insanely fast, and just like you hear the shotgun go off as you guys go down the hatch.
All right.
And you hear like a whole bunch of yelling and shooting, and yeah.
All right.
And you make your way out to the dinghy and get into the dinghy. Connor, can I have you make an intuition check?
I would be happy to. Give me just
I'm gonna
a second
message
to remember what
my
my
driver.
intuition is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are you messaging to Allison?
I'm gonna let her know that we are out of the ship with people, with 3 bodies, or 3+1s.
In location?
Can you get down closer to where we set off with the dinghy?
All right, yeah, I'll try.
Thank you.
17 was my intuition roll.
17, Connor. Kodra is fading fast. She needs immediate medical attention.
All right. I am going to hit her with the... let me double check the pharmacy that I actually do have pulled up here. So that's what Trank does, and I can never remember what Hypo does. Hypo. Would it make more sense to dose her with the Hypo? Is that what I'm seeing here?
Hypo heals.
Okay.
Yeah, that puts HP back in.
Okay. I will hit her first with the Hypo.
Okay. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Okay. Oh, okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. You guys are going through the crashing waves. Connor's over there. He hypos. Kodra, you are nearing the dock to the van. Allison is waiting. The rain is pouring down. You continue to hear the occasional shotgun blast on board the ship. And as you're getting off of the dinghy, Connor.
Yep.
It's not her physical being that is the problem. Her psyche is unraveling. It has been thrashed. Psionically thrashed. And just like that character who you feared,
yep,
but in a different way, her psyche is fracturing and dissolving. And you guys get into the armored vehicle, you bring her in, and Allison starts heading to girls, where
Not straight to girls, Allison. It's a little hot, you know? Maybe what's going on with this one?
Mind is falling apart. I'm going to try to do what I can. Anyway,
Okay.
we can go wherever.
Where's Allison going, Cash?
We can do
Go to girls, but cycle the block a couple times before we stop.
Yeah, sure. I'll make sure we don't get out of tail.
Yeah.
And she takes off. The van lurches forward through the rain, right as you see a large explosion on the Dauntless, and the whole ship actually shifts.
They got what they needed.
And you see an AV, a Talos Judicial AV headed in the direction, this time much slower, to what you would assume pickup. And then, Connor, as you are racing down, Kodra's heartbeat is wavering, her psyche continues to dissolve. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to use my last edge dice to cast. Actually, yeah, I will do Weaver again on my girl.
Okay. And what are you weaving?
I'm going to attempt. So her mind is breaking. Is it when I'm in her head? Is it similar to like the fear that I instill when I'm like, "Grr," or is it something else that's tearing it apart? Is it like the emotional state of her mind that she can't
Go ahead
handle,
and
or, like...
make a psionics check to analyze.
Okay, yeah. Sounds
I
good.
actually have a question about whether I can help him in this.
Okay.
So could I maybe attempt to apply like conch to her to like still her mind, right? And maybe give him like an edge die, like one of my edge dice to help or something like that. I don't know.
Go ahead and make a psionics check.
18
Yes.
for my psionics check with bonuses.
I was born for this.
18.
Just a quick question.
You've been under my tutelage for long enough, Cash. You can do this.
I'm actually pretty good at this.
It's the touching. You gotta touch. You gotta go.
Oh no, she's so bloody. Oh my god. It's an 18, but I'd be willing to spend 2 edge dice.
That's what I got
With
on
an 18,
Yeah,
you don't necessarily know really anything about psionic powers. However, it does seem like a more restful mind state might be better for the individual.
Conch.
Okay, you conquer. Connor.
Yep.
With an 18.
Yep.
And that was with the edge dice?
That was that was just
Oh,
that was just to use the
to
ability.
understand.
That was just to use the ability.
Yes.
Yep.
It is similar. Her psyche is collapsing. But it is not collapsing due to fear around things. It is collapsing because it has been so altered. The memories have been delved through, recycled, changed, manipulated. That it is kind of, its structures of her psychic entity is having a hard time holding together.
Okay. I am going to use the memories that I saw of her with, and I do not have the name of the girl. I did
Bora.
not write it down. Bora. Bora, right, sorry. Of her and Bora, I'm going to instill these memories in her that I have of her, right? That I felt as like a means to keep her together and something to like center herself on and around. And I am also willing to use my capstone to roll if it needs a roll.
That's up to you.
Yeah, okay. I will do a psionics roll. So, actually, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I really don't want her to die. So I'm going to roll the capstone on it for an additional 10. So 32 is the
32?
actual roll.
All right, you begin intensively weaving the memories that you were able to gather from her back into her mind. this is a process that is taking time. You guys are driving through the street. You have taken several, like a very roundabout way back to girls. It's been probably about 30 minutes in the car. Connor is basically like in a trance-like state, holding on to Kodra's head, and Amon Vecht, as you are in there, you're infusing these memories back together. Others are like collapsing around you. You see other glimpses of moments of other drones being built, of other moments with Bora that you've not seen, and they kind of like alter and dissipate, and you're like, it's like trying to keep up this like sand castle that's falling apart, and you're like, constantly like adding water and trying to reinforce it, and you're just kind of going back and forth, realizing that like had you not started this, she would definitely be gone. Her psyche would be obliterated. And you are in a way like, it is extremely daunting. Like you're sweating profusely. Cash, you see him, he's just like, exhausted and kind of going through. So you pull up, the van pulls up to the girls. Cash, what are you doing? Immediately, Douglas is kind of bringing out Queen Octavia, because she's still semi-conscious, to get her inside, and start treating whatever he thinks might help.
All right, the clock is ticking. We got to get these guys in here, but we need to get the fuck out of Berlin after this. It's time to exfil big time.
And you remember that you just need to contact Hermode. He is your ticket home.
Which I will do, but I want to get the people who need any kind of medical attention, where the drugs are inside and all that. I'm thinking, and I'm not going to interrupt Amon, so I'll tell Allison, I'll say, listen, I think we got about 60 minutes to 2 hours here, tops, for patch up, and then we're getting back in the van and we're hitting the tarmac. I'm going to tell her that.
All right. No
message Hermode.
I can't wait to get back.
Hermode, while we're going in the building, bringing the people in to get patched up. Hermode.
Good to hear from you, Cash. How has the mission been?
Well, we, in a lot of ways, we do in fact have all 4 of the agents.
There were 5.
I see.
Yep. So, also, Kairos is down, Uzi is down, there's been some on-the-fly repairs made. We need to get the fuck out of here on the tarmac within maybe 120 minutes tops. Can you help me out with that?
Of course. I will arrange a flight, be at the airport in 1 hour sharp.
Thank you. 1 hour. We'll be there.
As always,
Allison,
I look
1
forward
hour.
to the debrief.
Yep. I let Allison know, and then finish collecting everybody for evac. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. You enter girls. 2 loud wailing and screams of agony. No, I shouldn't say not loud. 2 murmured, stupid groans coming from the back room.
Oh shit, Kairos is up. I'll go to the back room.
Kairos is sort of up.
That door opens, I will reach next to me, grab a lamp vase, and whip that shit right at the door.
Can you make a dodge check for me, Cash?
I can. Here's the question.
And
Kairos,
can you make a thrown weapon minus 5?
Sure. I rolled a 20. Sorry.
Does my targeting array activate here as something is?
You weren't really thinking about your targeting array for this.
Yeah, my eyes.
Thing.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I got a 4, so.
Sure, you can gain your bonus too that comes with the targeting array for avoiding things. I don't know what.
Hey, I've got the same targeting.
You do. Wait, do you have the multi-retinal targeting array?
Yeah, I've got the whole socket.
I think you have the lens sheet.
Hold on. No, I don't have
the Oculus, but the multi-targeting is what he's talking about.
No, I don't have the targeting. the different types, though.
Yeah,
I
for
think
me,
you're gonna dodge a
anytime
4.
something becomes a projectile, it's immediately recognized as a threat type thing. Like a weapon, what have you. I don't know that it'll matter.
It probably won't.
Unless you roll like horrible.
Uh,
Yeah, you're good.
Please
You're
roll a
good. So
3.
you like open up the door and you like just kind of cock your head and this flower vase hits right next to you as Kairos is clearly working his way through what doses remain of his anesthesia and not happy about it.
well, that's not some way to thank someone who saved your life. We gotta get out of here. Mission accomplished, pal. Mission success. It's time to evac. As I'm sure we're also bringing in the bodies and the Octavia awake is getting into the back room and the body of not Kodra.
A Corsair.
Corsair. Thank
Lucy
you.
unsteadily comes out from the back room, bandages tight around her chest, and she's like, "How did it go?"
It was as good as I possibly could have made it happen. Cash money, right? Iman's doing some crazy shit right now, by the way. So he's preoccupied with Allison in the van. But we're boots off the ground in about 50 minutes.
Okay. Douglas has started doing some patchwork onto Queen Octavia. You guys begin packing up to head out into the van. The entire time, Connor, you continue with the struggle to hold on to the psychic presence of Kodra.
Can I do anything for you, Kairos? Stale biscuit fingers, a glass of water? Can I help you at all? All right, okay, all right.
And as you all get loaded up, Cash, you notice, you all kind of get into the van, and Cash, you notice Amon Vecht is like bleeding from the ears, and still concentrating on the head of Kodra. Can you make a medicine check for me, Cash?
Absolutely. Medicine is my...
It's beginning to get our specialties at this point.
Yep. That's a 9.
9, okay. Thank you. And you head off to the airport.
Spectacular.
Driving through the rain. We fast forward now. Connor, shortly before arriving at the airport, it was extremely close, but you were able to create enough of a foundation in Kodra's mind to stabilize her. The path to recovery, you're really not sure. The memories lost, destroyed, altered. You have patched many of them. You have installed all of those core significant memories that you had bared witness to. She would no doubt be dead had you not put all of your psychic energy into this moment. You board the plane. She is now stable. Her heart rate stable. Her breathing stable, but she is in a comatose state. Queen Octavia asleep. Tyros in a drug-addled near sleep, leaned back in his airplane chair. Cash smoking a cigarette, a whiskey just brought by the lovely flight attendant who is in a blue dress
view my
suit.
stream right now, because as that whiskey shows up for Cash, see my right hand.
Douglas saluted you guys as you boarded the plane and
Dougie
headed
didn't
off
die.
to catch his own flight out. Usi is asleep in her chair. Amon Vecht, you lean your weary head, your eyes heavy,
Yep.
kind of intermittent from falling asleep. You lean your head against the airplane window. This mission is coming to an end. You guys did it.
Oh.
You saved 2 of them. And you watch another plane has just arrived in the terminal just over to the side, and you kind of watch as passengers get off. A man and woman look like newly engaged, some kids passing by. Kind of close your eyes for a long moment, almost too long. You're almost asleep, but then you open them again, and there's an old couple walking out past the window, and a businessman behind him who seems aggravated at how slowly they're progressing. And then your face goes white. The blood runs from it, and your eyes wide as you see Zircon step off of the plane into the terminal. What do you do? This will determine next mission.
This is for me, right?
Yep, you're the one who saw him.
We gotta stop the plane. Hold on a second. Zircon is here. Zircon. Do
You guys hear the engines of the plane start up. It hasn't moved yet, but it is getting ready. It's just idling, about to leave the terminal.
Zircon, guys. Zircon was actually just here.
Your friend's dead, bud. It's been a long day. A long day.
Kairos?
That actually worries me.
You're muted, Kairos. We can't hear you. But we'll just assume you're drug-addled and just making mouth noises in yours.
Yes, as I sit here, concluding my bird giving of cash, and I see Amon. I didn't see Zircon, right?
No. This is just he was staring out the window, and he is convinced Zircon just got off a plane that just arrived at the airport.
I'm going to. Am I sitting anywhere near Amon?
Yeah, you're just across the aisle. This is a private jet. There's nobody in this but you guys and the Fathoms.
Well, I know, but there's a subtlety here. As he's doing that, I'm going to open one eye, and I'll take the one working leg, and I'll tap him, and I'm just going to put my hand up to my face. Just shush.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to pause because what Cash said has reminded me, freaked me out, frankly. This is an insane theory now, right? But this is what's going on in Amon's head. I have had my mind. I opened it up, right? Obviously. I have spent so much time trying to rebuild Kodra's memories. My concern is my memory of Zircon was stolen. And there is going to, like, it is a frightening figment of my imagination, right? I am going to level with all of you. I'm still convinced that his soul somewhere resides within the Haunt of the Pines. But I'm very, very worried that now, Vanderberg has started masquerading as my dear old, for a few missions friend, Zircon. Or that I am going crazy. I am going to need to, myself probably, when I get back, I need to go talk to Asher.
So,
did you say any of this, by the way? Sorry, Paul.
I'm just thinking
this is all out of character.
Yeah.
He said
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
pardon. I didn't know.
So I'm going to return us back to the game at hand.
Yep.
Amon,
I am very disturbed by this. But with everything going on, I think that it is probably I am going crazy. And I am seeing the ghost of somebody who I just had my head rooted around, and I've spent time playing with my memory. So I'm just kind of going to, sit back, but I am even more uneasy now. I will sleep because I must, but, I am very nervous now. I am even more unsettled.
When he calms, I will privately over subspace send him a message. We'll talk when we land. Don't tell anybody. Don't say anything to anybody.
So having been with him on through some trauma, I think Cash, seeing that he's freaked out, just a simple way to kind of try to break the psychosis. You know, he would say, "Hey, if that's your buddy, just give him a call. Right? If he's there, he'll answer."
I'll try to ping his old little thing. Be like, you hear?
He answers, but it is not Zircon's voice you hear. Good. I was hoping you would reach out. I may need you.
Oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna be
Can
real
you come
quiet
to my
now.
location? I'm now in Berlin.
Do I recognize this voice at all?
Cognition check.
Yeah, okay. $20, $21, $22, $23.
Yes.
23.
You've only ever heard it once. And your memory takes you back to Substation 9 outside of the field as Zircon hooks himself up to the generator. You hear Carol. But it's not Carol's voice, but it's Carol's voice from the AI, and he says something. You don't quite remember what. To Zircon, but not Zircon. And Zircon responds in that voice. You can't quite remember what he said, but it was not Zircon.
I don't like it.
Responding, and they go back and forth, and then the detonation.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I am now even more concerned. I want to get out of here. I'm like, all right, wings up.
All
I
right.
don't want that AI thing. I don't like it. No. I just kind of lean back and I'm ready
And
to
turn
go.
off your EMS.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh God, yeah.
Some
And
pet
the jet
cemetery
takes-
shit here.
And this jet takes off.
Cash was like, "See,
Congratulations, team,
Oh.
on the successful conclusion of Mission 4. I
Wow.
have to tell you, Connor,
Yep.
I was very, very well prepared to let Kodra die.
Yeah.
It's because of that capstone usage that you saved her.
Sweet.
Which is very, very significant, and it's because you exceeded a 30 with that as well.
Okay.
Had you
yeah.
capstoned and not gotten a 30, she would have been gone. And yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So that is the conclusion. You guys head on your way back to House of Odin. We still have a little bit of time, and I'm okay ending this stream shortly. But after several hours, I want to end with one last piece. You know what? No. We'll pick up. This is a great place to end. We'll pick up in next session, or do a small special session where we'll go over a small piece in between now and next mission. Yeah.
And if y'all want to
Sweet.
stick around, you're welcome to. We're going to do the standard little post debrief. Kind of hang out and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Our MVP, LVP. Before we jump, though, I would like to also point all of our viewers and any Scions that might be viewing as well to go and check out the soon-to-be best-selling book, Cages of the Mind by Amon Vecht. It is a bestseller for Scions if you view the stream currently.
Yes.
Oh, no way. Oh, beautiful.
I'll send it to you
Just
after.
beautiful.
Wait, did he actually
please
make a cover?
do.
I did.
Oh Jesus,
During
Cages
the
of the
stream.
Mind, I love it.
It's just so good.
That's brilliant.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love that.
I will be posting that up in House of Eidolons as well.
Yes. Oh,
Perfect.
House of
awesome.
Odin.
And for
There you
any viewers that came and joined, please let us know what you think. Feel free to reach out to us. Our Discord's on the website. You can join there. We have a starter mission if you want to try playing. We have pre-built characters, pre-built mission, pre-built debrief. You and your friends can try this out. It's on Patreon. I think it's like $10. It's very cheap. And the full rule book we are hopeful to have out sometime this summer, maybe early fall.
If y'all
in
cross
its,
your
like, early
fingers,
phase.
if y'all cross your fingers, might be in under 2 months. Just saying, might.
But this is early phase. It will be the very beginning PDF accessible version, so you could start playing. We plan to beautify it, edit it, make it a much more finished product into the future. But that will also be available on our Patreon. And also, do not forget to follow myself. I'm Penborough on Instagram and House of Eidolons. We post stuff all the time. Feel free to reach out, talk to us. We're lovely people. We like to talk, like to tell stories.
They are.
Thank you all for joining. This has been amazing. I really enjoyed this last conclusion episode.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, folks.
Thanks.